like when you're on the BBC and oh no, Matt's crashed and to reboot him by fondling his cock again.
Oh, not again. Hello.
No one's here. You don't need to say hello until.
Yeah, but people can watch it on demand afterwards because hopefully this time the video won't be so massively
low quality
and not encrypted. That was the word.
We're encrypting these now.
Yeah.
So the NSA can't watch our live hangouts.
NSA can't look in my closet. It's all soundproofing and clothes. Hello, Quentin. The only other person
this is
currently here. Well, there must be somebody maybe here in a minute. So
we have done these before, though, whereby we put all the energy into the intro, and it turns out you've given the wrong link out and stuff.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure this time I gave the right link. It's probably just taken a while to. Let's have a look at the Q&A panel. Is there anything?
No.
Yes, there is.
Oh wow!
I think it just takes a while to update the view account.
Okay. Hello, John Parkinson. Hello, Matthew Arnott, and hello, John Parker and Muriety.
Not sure how loud we are. Are we too loud or okay? I don't know. Let us know, guys.
Yeah. Oh, can we delete these without?
Well, he's asking me how my back is. That's a question, Quentin.
I know. I'm trying to. Look, fucking Jesus. Give me a Jesus Christ. John Parker has a question, Matt. He's saying good evening. He's asking how your back is. How is it?
It's fine, thanks.
It's fine. So secondly, can either of you imagine a multiplayer game such as Subterfuge being so invasive, I've not got my glasses on and I'm old, so invasive as to permanently alter your relationship with someone in a negative manner?
I mean, it depends how well.
I mean, you can imagine it, can't you?
I think if maybe you were playing, I don't know, if maybe you're playing Subterfuge with someone who you didn't really know, but you did know a tiny bit, that might actually mess you off. Because I think in a way, like when I played, what's it called? The bloody board game that sort of is like Diplomacy. The first time I played Diplomacy,
oh god, yeah.
I kind of like, I did actually end up like getting to be friends with the guy later, but it was the first time I've met this guy. And I've since, oh my god, I've only just realized this.
You've already just discovered.
I just remember I found out some new information about this guy the other day. Basically, I sound like I'm a fucking spy, but I'm not. The guy you
found out he's a dick.
No. I found out that he. I didn't know this. I found out that he is really good mates with my other halves.
With Tony Blair.
Ex.
Oh really?
Yeah. So he was basically like really good mates with the guy.
Did you beat him or lose to him?
Well, no, I lied to him really badly. And he knew I was lying, and I was like, "Oh, I'm going to go to Norway," and then he basically defended Calais as I moved into Calais because I was England, he was France, and I was like, "Yeah, I lied."
Oh, okay.
But he knew I was lying, but it was this really thing because I got in so hard with that I was on his side and we were working together. And it was just a lie.
But did it permanently alter your relationship?
Yeah, it was the first time I met him when he came round to our house. So he basically looked at me as if to go, "You're a dick." And then we didn't really talk for the rest of the game. And then actually it took a few months afterwards before we kind of talked properly again. It was sort of always a bit awkward because it was like, we don't really know each other. And you just think, I'm a cunt.
Oh, people at home can know that Lee and Joe Screbbles had not met prior to our game of Subterfuge, and they were in different countries when the game started, and then Joe was one of the people who put Lee out of the game, and they got to meet in a pub, and I introduced them, and there was a moment where they both pretended to hate each other, but then they hugged, and it was actually very sweet.
You can't hate Scrabbles, it's impossible.
Yeah.
I'll try and do the buttons.
Well, no, you can try and do the buttons. But John, I would not my answer to your question. A game can be so invasive as to permanently alter your relationship with someone. If they're not in the game, I could imagine being super annoyed if someone's like, "Put that Subterfuge app down, it's bullshit," and I'm like, "You don't understand."
Yeah, my other half was actually really angry about the whole Subterfuge. On the first day, I was reading how to play the game still because the game was starting in like half an hour, and I knew it was the kind of game where I couldn't just do something in the morning. It's like I need to start doing something.
Yeah.
Like otherwise you would.
Oh yeah.
So I was trying to learn to play so I could do it, and she was getting really annoyed because I was ignoring her, and she was trying to talk to me, and we were getting ready for bed. And I'm
to be fair, the game was starting.
I know, I only had half an hour. I was like, and the thing is now, hopefully at some point she'll see the video series and realize that actually it's like there was a good reason I was doing that.
Oh look, it's Eric Tangblad. He thinks he's king of the questions.
Well, if that isn't Eric Tangblad.
He's always top of the comments. Yeah. He's always got the most upvoted questions.
Sorry, Eric, it's just we did just record Dark Souls, and
he doesn't know.
He doesn't know this. Your question was the most upvoted in that. So look forward to hearing your name again in a podcast on Monday.
Okay, so we're going to start this. So
I'm getting better at this, I promise.
Here we go.
Merry Christmas, ghosts. Do you have any plans for a best of the year list? If not, Why no? What the hell? No. What were the best games you played this year?
Calm down, Eric. That's
actually, he's kind of nailed this. Is what were the best games you played this year? Not necessarily released in 2015, and that actually really is kind of why I haven't thought about doing a best of year list, because most of my best experiences this year have actually just been games I've played, and maybe not all of them are ones that even came out this year. And also, like, it's this weird thing at the moment where you have lots of sites doing their kind of games of 2015. I don't think like any sane human could have played all of the really big good things this year, let alone all the good things, all the big good things. I know a few people that have, but my God, I think that's all they do.
I find it's a weird question. I wouldn't want to put games on a best of year list because
you have to play them all to do that, surely.
Well, I don't know. It doesn't. The format doesn't work with me because it's like I just wouldn't want to put like MGS 5 in a list with, you know, Rocket League, or I wouldn't put Rocket League in a list with like Kentucky Route Zero.
Yeah,
like I don't want to.
I guess in a way, if you want to know, I think it's a weird thing because usually lots of sites will just cover everything, and then at the end of the year go, here are the best things that we've played. Well, actually, like you can kind of see what the best things or the most interesting things we've played this year are because it's on a website called Cool Ghosts.
Yeah, that's Cool Ghosts is basically one long of the year list because we don't have to cover anything else.
Yeah, and actually it kind of wastes a lot of time because sometimes you play stuff and it's just not that good.
Sorry, I'm just taking the buttons away from you.
It's fine.
But you nailed that. Let's see if you can do it again. I'll take control when you fuck up.
Okay. Due to wacky Tim Allen magic, you are now Santa Claus. What one video game and one board game would you put under every child's tree? Oh, I want to be a
You forgot to say his name.
Oh, it's Alec Norton.
And I'm in control of the button, ladies and gents.
Should we swap positions?
Yep. We can. When I screw up, you can have... Oh, we're not.
I'm keeping my chair.
Dick. Oh, my God.
Hey!
And I'm keeping this position. So, Alec, what one video game and one board game do you put under every child's tree? Well, what's a board game that I put under every child's tree? Cosmic Encounter is like, kids wouldn't get it.
I guess
Cosmic is a bit too...
Kids is a wide area.
Pandemic Legacy.
Well, it's like disease. You're trying to give kids disease.
Kids love disease. They're always putting awful things in their mouths.
That's true. Kids are babies, just breed them.
Yeah. So Pandemic Legacy because it's good, and Matt looking at. If we just tilt this, we can see Matt's small board game collection. It's got Flick 'em Up. Flick 'em Up's not bad.
Flick 'em Up is pretty good.
We need to review that. I fucked it.
You fucked it.
We need to review Flick 'em Up. No, that's fine.
We will review it.
We need to review Flick 'em Up in the new year. What video game do we put under it? Well, it's digital downloads, Alec. Think about it. You don't put digital downloads under a tree.
Yeah, Alec. Get with the times, Grandad.
What a chump. Why don't you think a little harder before asking us another question, Alec?
How much beer have you had?
The one further away is probably... Sucker.
I don't know. I think let them have what they want, unless it's GTA 5.
Let them have what they want. That is a more reasonable...
Violent. That's violent. Violence is bad for children.
I'm going to do this one first. Linorn, lovely patron of coolghost.net. Thank you very much for donating. Linorn asks, would you like some tea? No, thanks. I've had boatloads today.
Yeah, he's been drinking like tea.
An hour. It's because ever since I got back from Canada, I've been getting up at like 6 a.m. So I've been having tea just to keep me awake. Thank you, Linorn. What a lovely question. Very polite of you.
Linorn.
Yeah, I was going to make a joke, but it was just going to be exactly what you said. So
it's not really a joke, is it? It's not funny, that's for sure.
It's pretty well, no. It's oh my God, it's the same names. They're super fans. I love it.
Well, yeah, the only people who get to be in here are people who are Funwraiths.
It's true,
and so that's limiting, but it's nice. It's exclusive. These are the people who are the lifeblood of the site. It's fantastic.
52 viewers is about 30 less than we usually do, so I reckon we should up our game and be like.
Well, taking our clothes off and stuff.
No,
I don't mind it. I don't mind it because it's the sort of thing where a lot of people, they don't have the time to just do it at a drop of a hat, or they can't plan and they just want to watch it again afterwards, and that's fine. And hello, if you're one of those people. Some people like to come and ask some questions and do it live because they can, but I think a lot of people just like funding the site because they like the stuff. But I think it's awesome, and you know, that it's one of those things where like it's a nice thing to be able to do, to spend a bit of time just chatting to you and answer your questions. And so
it's so fun.
If it's only 50,
this is our favorite thing that we do.
It's only 50 people. It's like these are like the 50 most important people. So
you're right. If it was 10 people, it would be just as it's like they will swell to fill the hangout. It's just if there's 10 of them, they swell bigger.
Yeah.
If there's 100, they're all less.
It doesn't matter if there's 10 people, still do it.
There's one. If all of you leave except one person, that one person will become the most powerful Funwraith of all.
Although actually, if there is only 10 people watching it, then maybe we just sort of say, do people actually want this, or do you want something else?
Yeah, then we send t-shirts.
50 is good. 50 is a large amount of people.
Nathan Wilkinson asks, hello Nathan. Are there any games released this year that you regret missing? Well, being adults, we don't miss games.
All of them.
We choose to not play them.
Yeah, I mean, I still own them. I just don't play them.
Yes.
I really want to play The Witcher 3. I've been saying that almost every day. To be honest,
you know, I played some of it and just got so annoyed by the level gating immediately that it's like you start a quest line, you get all the way to the end, and there's a manticore, and then you're not high enough level to beat the manticore, but you didn't know that going in.
Right.
Regret. I'll tell you what I do regret. I regret not giving certain. Oh, this is more hypothetical because I don't have one in head, but like certain multiplayer games where I just want to spend like 100 hours on them. Like you're playing the Protoss.
I'm playing the
one.
Protoss. What,
I don't actually know
the table. No, I've finished that now. I just played the campaign, and I enjoyed that. I enjoyed playing Legacy of the Void. Just as a kind of thing, I played a tiny bit of the multiplayer. I realized it made my heart go mental.
Yeah, it's really
can't do it. It's exciting, but it's too exciting. I'm a grown up now. I can't deal with that kind of excitement. So I just finished the campaign, but that was nice. Finished the campaign, was done with it. There's loads of stuff. I think it's difficult. Like the problem is, like, I don't understand how people do it. I assume everyone has the ability to stop time, because it seems like people just happily cane through a game and then they're on to the next one next week, and I can't do that. I mean, I'm trying to get into Xenoblade Chronicles X. I played that for about 40 minutes.
I don't understand how I've started yet another really long JRPG, so I guess I'll be done with that at some point. But I don't know how everyone else finishes their like 2-hour FPS games.
No, because there aren't that many 2-hour FPS games anymore. They've gone. I missed them. But
it's true.
I don't know. It's just I've played that for 40 minutes and it's like kind of awful. But I'm sure it isn't. I'm sure, don't freak out. I'm sure it's actually really good, but I just have to put some time in. I'm interested to see. I'm going to put some more time in and see how I get on with it. Just because it is fascinatingly bad in many ways.
We'll see if it gets good.
But yeah, I don't know. It's difficult. I think we're at the moment very busy, and I'm finding a nice balance between playing games and making videos. So yeah, you just end up missing loads of stuff if you're working. Really,
my real answer for this is board games. We're publishing Shut Up and Sit Down's top 50 board games this week, and if you want to know what games I'm missing, look at about 49 of them. Everything except Pandemic Legacy. I've not played enough this year.
Tell me about it.
Alabaster Crippins, another Shut Up and Sit Down mod, an all-around excellent person. He says, they, I believe, says, Quins, congratulations on the obvious big answer to this question, but aside from that, what's the best thing, brackets, probably game-related, you brought back from your recent time across the pond?
I.e. in America. America.
What is the best thing? Probably game-related. It's probably a memory.
Well, I mean, I brought his Star Wars Armada stuff back for him.
It's a toss-up.
So I kind of brought that.
It's like a toss-up between Matt bringing back all the Wave 2 expansions of Star Wars Armada and the engagement ring we got for my fiance. But the thing is, the Wave 2 Armada does have the Imperial-class Star Destroyer. So
it's a really difficult toss-up.
Yeah. Probably played some good games as well. Finishing Pandemic Legacy again. God, I'm a broken record.
I'm really looking forward to playing that.
You're gonna have a great time, man.
I've been waiting specifically. I've got one of my friends who's been really busy with an art gallery stuff, and I really want to play with
with an art gallery stuff.
Yeah, it's really annoying because like now I'm like 30. Even like my friends who are just artists, who are usually the people who are really reliable for just saying, "Hey, do you want to come around and play a board game with me?" And now, like, I can't. I've got a gallery. I've got to like do an exhibition, and it's like, oh man, I'm really happy that like you're actually kind of becoming like a proper artist. But at the same time, I want people to play board games with.
I wanted to play board games this week, and my friend couldn't make it, and had the coolest excuse. This is Ian. So he's doing the voice recording for Dark Souls 3. Like he's in the studio in Soho, doing voice work with the actors for that.
That's cool.
And it's just like. Yeah, but I wish you were playing board games.
I know, that's the thing. Everyone's got like either babies or careers, and like even people who in the past had like nothing going on and were just like, yeah, I'll come drink beers. Now everyone's got lives. I need to like get lots of friends who are children.
But yeah, the one thing I've actually made time for, two things. I made time for Duskers in Canada and finishing Pandemic Legacy with Lee. And we actually, tell you what, I did bring back Alabaster, brought back the board of our Pandemic Legacy game, and we're going to frame that when it's less, when like everyone's had a chance to play it. It's not full of spoilers. Because we're doing the Shut Up and Sit Down Games news. Someone framed their Risk Legacy board, and it looks awesome.
By like dipping it in tea and ripping it up.
And yeah, so it looked like an old map.
Yeah.
The Pandemic Legacy, and I feel like it's a modern game, so you don't have to like dip it in tea because that would be weird.
Go on.
I'm done with tea, man. Like, well, at least using it as an art supplement.
You can't get enough tea. Interesting. Was there a video? This is by Moriarty. It's like a cross between Moriarty and a cow. I got the name this time.
You did. I was waiting on that.
Was there a video or a game you tried to make a video for Cool Ghost for, which just didn't work? Are there things you want to talk about which just don't lend themselves to your format? There's never things we don't want to talk about. I think, to be honest, like everything we play to any degree ends up being talked about at some point, usually on Dark Souls, and that's kind of a good space for it, really, if it doesn't fit anywhere else. Sometimes not immediately. Sometimes I play things and then they don't really impact me and I forget about them, and then it might end up being that I talk about them in relation to something else in the future. Because I think sometimes that's often what things are useful for. It's a good frame of reference. If you'd be able to go, okay, this is good because it does something that this game tried to do, and it, it's kind of building up an encyclopedia. But a lot of the time, if you play something, and we kind of have this sort of rule with Cool Ghost because we don't have the capacity to cover everything. We just cover things that are good. But the problem is, you don't always know what that's going to be until you actually play things. And a lot of time things are good, or people say are good. In fact, like I had a really interesting thing this week where we made a video. I made a video before we started Cool Ghosts about Darkest Dungeon and about like the early access version of that, and being like, should you get it now? And I think I said at the time, like, probably not. Like, don't get it. Like, it's really cool, but it's going to be better when it's done. And it's funny, it's not done yet. But I dipped back into it on the weekend. And it's not any good anymore.
Oh, no, it is. I played it between now and when you recommended it then.
But I played it like last week. I played it for like 8 hours, and it's not. I don't like it.
But I bet you just don't like it. I bet it's not bad.
It's got. I don't know. It's not bad. It's just. It's not. Basically, I like the original stuff. I like the tone. I like the theme. I like the art. And I kind of felt like, yeah, this has got a really good structure, but it just needs a bit of work. And I feel like the work has gone into stuff which hasn't actually made it better. And I'm just not ever sure they're going to go back and tweak the core stuff that it needs to be changed to make it a really good game. Because the problem is what they've got now is they've got this game where like you go through and you just gradually, it kind of doesn't matter if you fail. Like it becomes this thing of like you kind of gradually get these upgrades which affect everything and make everything a bit better and make you just generally incrementally slightly better in lots of different ways.
No. Because when you're waist deep in the campaign, you start locking off. As you progress through an area and do missions in it over and over again, it gets harder and harder and harder as you are deeper into it.
Yeah.
And that means that if you lose a really good hero, or like you have a series of setbacks, then suddenly you're still doing the same difficulty but with worse hero. There is a threat. Yes.
Yeah, but I think I don't know. I think for a roguelike it's really bad.
It's not a roguelike. It's like a 100-hour game.
I know. But that's the thing is it's kind of like, it's this annoying thing of it means you have this very slow grind of a demise. If you start to do badly, it doesn't just go, oh, you fucked it. You just, I don't know. It's just, it feels like just really unnecessarily cruel a lot of the time, and it doesn't give you much. It's quite miserly. And the more I played it, the more I felt like I was just playing a very grindy RPG of going, okay, well, I can do this, but it's just going to take ages. And it's just like,
I don't know, man.
It becomes a loot thing.
I played it like 40 hours recently, and
really,
well, I played the last build for about 40 hours. Yeah, well, not the last build, but it was like a build from probably about 4 or 5 months ago.
Well, maybe it's just not for me, but I don't know. I just found it to be like, I found that I loved it in many regards.
We're really off topic.
No, but I think that's the thing is it's difficult. Like I think sometimes it's the difficult. This is what I was saying is the difficulty here is that often you play things and then you just think like, we often think that there's no point like making videos about why things are bad unless it's a game which everyone thinks is amazing and we think it's terrible, then we might do it. But generally speaking, what's the point? Like if we don't like stuff, we'll just cover stuff we like. But the problem is it means you often play things for 8 or 10 hours and then go, I don't really overall have anything positive to say about this. So things don't say anything.
The things that don't lend themselves to the Cool Ghosts format, or at least the tone, is like when things are mediocre or boring, but then we don't want to talk about that anyway. Like the whole point of the site is we do what we want and we do what we want to talk about. So there's stuff we do that won't work, sure-ish. But if we want to talk about something, we'll find a way to do it.
But it does mean there's unfortunately quite a lot of time plowed into playing things which you then go, oh, especially because that's the sort of game I like. I like the games you put lots of hours into, and I get 6 hours and go, oh, I don't like it. And then it's like, okay.
Oh man, bless board games at least. With board games, you at least know in 2
hours you
whether
play it once and then you go, well, that was bad.
Yeah. Okay, let's handle this quickly.
Yeah.
Mark Cowan, thank you very much for donating, Mark, says, out of all the lying bastards you played Subterfuge with, who surprised you the most? No one surprised. Everyone played to type except Joe, who I was not expecting to. He just constantly confounded me. Everyone else, like, if you told me what their arc was in the game, I would have been like, yeah. Like, Brat doing really well, but slightly missing the point of Subterfuge, yep. Paul being weird, yep. Nels being consistent, yep. You being aggressive, me being aggressive, yep. Or me being more aggressive. But Joe's thing of just being really good, but, like, rock solid and never attacking Brat, like...
Yeah, no, I couldn't quite get my head around Joe. I couldn't get my head around a lot of people though. I was very mistrustful of Lee. I was very mistrustful of Paul.
Oh yeah,
just because Paul seemed to be doing very strange things.
If you'd known Paul, I've known Paul for like 14 years, and he prods systems.
He was playing the game in a really weird way that was like freaking people out because it was like, I think Joe said to me at one point, he's like, does he know that he's playing badly? And I was like, I don't know. Maybe.
The answer is yes, but he doesn't care.
No, yeah. So no, we can't really say anymore without massively spoiling stuff, but I think it was difficult.
You say it's going to sound like Paul comes from behind in the end with like a nuke.
No, it's just. I think everything was constantly a surprise because I became so paranoid that I didn't trust anyone. So it's just like
everything was a constant surprise.
I was like
living in permanent fear.
As Joe best said, actually, in this week's one, I had literally turned into like some sort of mad mafia boss.
Yeah, like, asking everybody questions,
interrogating everybody, and demanding fealty and playing mind games.
A thing I forgot to say in my diaries is that at this point in Subterfuge, I'm pinging messages at Joe constantly, and he's never responding. Like it's just Joe, I need you to... Joe, you have to invade Brat.
That's
Joe,
it. We're
3 days of that.
We're all tapping everyone up for stuff, and everyone's just going...
Joe, to his credit, is the only person who didn't bother responding. Everyone else wasted my time.
Yeah, he was like a wall at that point to me, to be honest.
Morgan Gardner, thank you very much for donating, Morgan, says, are there games that one of you is interested in covering that the other one isn't? Will you cover them if that happens?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, because we just have our own separate streams.
Yeah, I mean, like, the only reason this works is because we already, like, have fairly similar kind of, well, not even, like, we, argue about stuff, but not in a bad way, but we have fairly similar work styles, I guess?
It would yeah, I mean, yeah.
Well, presentation styles. I think it's like we like different things, but we end up like making videos that kind of have a similar kind of feel.
Yeah, Matt makes really professional stuff, and I just talk really quickly over footage of the game.
But I think it's nice because the two kind of meld together a bit more, and like your work's becoming more professional, and I'm becoming more like from the heart and more passionate about stuff, and less like analytical and technical. So it's kind of like already work quite similarly, but the more we work together, the more the styles kind of compact into being one thing. But of course, we like different things. It's why I say I've been playing tons of JRPGs, and I'm doing the roguelike thing at the moment just because I love playing roguelikes. And after I kind of feel like I've done enough of that, at some point I might sort of do a little thing about like JRPGs or something. I don't know. Like, but it's like, it's nice that we just basically, I just continue to do what I did on my old channel, i.e. whatever I want.
Yeah.
And then he can do whatever he wants.
It would defeat the point of Cool Ghosts if one of us is like, oh, Matt, I'm really excited about doing a video on, FF7's remake, and then you're like,
no, yeah, like it's one of those things where like I'd happily, if you made a video about something that I thought was garbage, then I'd happily on Dark Souls say, oh, I thought that game was fucking rubbish. But that's fine. I mean, like, I did have a weird dream the other day that I was going to say this. I had a weird dream the other day that I decided that I was going to make the next, because we kind of basically, keep in touch a little bit. I say, okay, I'm going to do a video this Thursday about this, and then you do a video about this, and we kind of juggle it around. And we've been fairly erratic lately. Sorry, it's because he's been in Canada and I did my back in. We'll be better in the new year. Now we're both
in January, assuming that we don't injure ourselves again, because that could happen.
It could happen. But
January is going to be a huge amount of Cool Ghosts.
But you guys have been really cool about like the fact that it's been a bit spotty, which is awesome. But I had a weird dream that I just decided that my next video for Cool Ghosts was just going to be about hard drugs instead of video games. And I kept thinking whilst doing it, yeah, it's different, but you know, it'll be fine. I'll just talk about.
You also
hard drugs.
said that in the dream you didn't tell me.
Yeah, that's the thing. I was thinking about it in the dream, going, maybe I should tell Quinns that I'm going to do this before I put it online. And then I was like, no, he'll be fine. I mean, it's a bit left field, but it'll be fine.
So no video games in the dream at all. Just like,
no.
Did you start filming it? What were you doing?
No,
in the video?
I wasn't doing drugs. I wasn't filming
I mean,
it. I was just thinking about it and going, yeah, maybe I should do a drug about that.
Was the video going to be like you in front of a green screen, like with drugs behind you?
I think it was just going to be me talking about drugs. I don't know why. Not
as like a PSA, but just like drugs. Some of them are pretty good.
I don't even remember. I think it was. I think it was fairly balanced. Yeah, I don't think it was drugs are bad. I think it was just like I don't know.
Cool Ghosts is not for or against drugs.
Yeah, it's just telling the facts.
Just take drugs responsibly because they're pretty good.
Well, I guess that was a weird anxiety dream about communications. Just telling you, but it's fine. I mean,
our communication's been fine.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, the thing is, like, I didn't tell you I was doing a video today. I just put it online and like.
No, because I'm busy with the.
As a lot of you guys probably know, we do Shut Up, Sit Down and Cool Ghosts, and like chances are over the next year, hopefully both those sites are going to be fucking awesome. We've got some big plans. We've got a lot of energy. We're both in a good zone and wanting to like do some good work. Yeah. But it is going to mean that like from time to time, it's going to be kind of ebbs and flows. So like, you might find times where like kind of I'm a bit more on Shut Up, Sit Down, or, Quinns is more on Shut Up, Sit Down, or kind of disappearing. And
anytime Matt vanishes from Cool Ghosts, it will be because
I'm doing more
on Shut
Up, Sit Down, and vice versa. But hopefully, you guys are cool with that, because as I think a few people were a bit like funny about that at first, like especially with Quinns doing something else as well. But it's like it's more about anything. It's more about keeping our own creativity going. You can't do the same thing all the time.
No, so doing Shut Up, Sit Down was just making my video game skills atrophy. Like I was in a coma.
It's nice to have a break. If you've been playing games all the time, it's nice to just take a little step for it, just for a few weeks and do something else.
Durfs. Hello, Durfs. How's it going, man? It says, Matt, how did you feel when you first saw everyone's diaries for Subterfuge? How did you decide on what to include/cut?
That
I'm going to get a beer.
Yeah, sure. Grab me one as well. How do you decide? Well, that's actually really difficult. I've got a very strange technique for editing Subterfuge, which is I do it on a weekly basis. So rather than just going and like looking at everything and chopping it up, I ask people for the stuff, everyone sent me the stuff, and every week I just sit down with all the stuff and I just sort of start editing. And it's a bit, actually, it's not actually an efficient way to edit, because usually the best way to do it is to look at everything you've got and work out some structure and then do it. But it means I kind of do it on the fly and go edit, go, oh my God, this has to go here. And then you just go, you just clip that in. Things often just get juggled around. Not a lot of stuff gets cut, to be honest. Often the difficulty is that I try and have themes that continue. So if people are really worried about something that doesn't go anywhere, then that kind of gets cut, unless somebody else is talking about it as well. It's mainly, actually the weirdest thing about editing Subterfuge is that up until very recently, it's been a breeze in a weird way, because I'll be watching somebody's footage, and then I'll watch someone else's footage, and I'll realize that I'm like, oh my God, if I put this and then like click to that afterwards, it's just like
Quinns will look like a Nazi.
Well, no, you just
it's ridiculous how much you've made me look like a Nazi when there was none of that in any of my.
No, that's true. I did. I actually, I'll be honest. There's been one element about it which I feel slightly bad about, is that I did. Because it's difficult to try and put it together in a way that's fair when you're actually involved in it, and I find it weirdly upsetting sometimes to edit, because it's like it's happening again almost. Like when you hear people talking about you, like
you can tell Matt edited it, because his
betrayals happen again.
Of the 8 icons he's used, he's the only one pulling a stupid face.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. But no, I feel the one that I've tried to remain really unbiased about it.
Because you do have the chance to rewrite history, where if you say something in a camera and someone else says something that proves you wrong, you just cut that out.
I could just cut that out. But no, I've left it. I've left in bits. I mean, I'm still maintaining in a lot of these videos that I'm like the only hero, and I'm always told the truth to everyone. It's like, it's just not true. It's like I've kind of gone mad, and I'm trying to keep that in. But there was the point at which I realized that like I've been betrayed by Brat. There was, I mean, it's so low you can barely even make it out, but there is some sad piano music over some of those bits, so I felt a bit bad, because it's like that's the one time where I felt like I kind of added a bit of editorial, which I think is always the thing if you're making any form of documentary. It's like you kind of like, if you do too much, you're kind of leading the audience, and that's kind of partly what documentary is in a weird way.
The thing, Brett is the creepiest in Subterfuge Diaries, because like you and me will have this kind of like self-effacing, like, well, I think this is the case, but I'm not sure. I might be doing this. Like, I'm openly making fun of myself in all of my entries, in terms of like, I admit how aggressive and competitive I am. Brat is so sinister because you watch his entries and he just is like, man, I think this is happening, and it's just like, it's like a train moving forward, and there is no room for anything else to get on that train aside from just like, well, I'm going to do this, and it's quite nice, even though he's like dominating the game.
Yeah, I think it's because he played Neptune's Pride. I remember he was playing it at a video game, and I think he got burnt really hard. I think he got really hard betrayed, so I think he just came into this a little bit. He's
now just a monster.
He just came in a bit more steeled and a bit more like stoic about it, and I get that. But
and then the rest are just, and he leaves like all the players pissed off.
But it's funny because in this week's one, he's genuinely like, you can tell he's pissed off that everyone's annoyed at him. He's like,
despite the fact that it's all his fault.
No, but he's got no reason not to be in a way, because he like, it's this weird thing of everybody hates him just because he betrayed me, and that doesn't really make sense. But I managed to Machiavelli it so that he is the baddie. Well, you, me, and you. We're both evil, but it's this weird thing of like, he has got actually every right. He was like, it's only 30 ships. He's like kind of annoyed, and it's like, he should be.
It was the 30 ships that sunk him as well. Like, it was so funny.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway, man. I'm gonna pull some weird questions because there was one nice one about Christmas.
I can say we can answer that. Get that out of the way. Is there anyone who wants to see Matt's video on Hard Dwell?
I clicked the wrong thing. We'll do this shortly. Are they plans for Paul to appear on Cool Ghosts? Is asked by Eric again. Maybe covering some cool strategy games. Paul is the busiest man.
Yeah, he's very busy.
In the face of the world.
I mean, I wouldn't say never. I mean, I would say like never on this. Like,
well, Paul. Yeah, I mean, Paul's kind of on. You know, he's in the Subterfuge Diaries.
He's in the Subterfuge Diaries, and I'm sure if we do anything similar in the future, like, we're definitely like, he's good to have along for that stuff.
The thing is, we could get Paul on Cool Ghosts, because all it would require is us saying to Paul, like, hey, Paul, we'll pay you this much money. Do you want to do a feature on this game? And he'll say yes. The problem is we wouldn't want to do that to Paul, because the reason Paul is busy is he says yes to everything.
Yeah, Paul is always like chronically busy and stressed.
So he's always like, oh, I've got to write 2,000 words on this World of Tanks spin-off. And we say, why do you have to? And he says,
no, you just say no to things. I say no to almost everything.
Me too. Charlie Robertson says, hi, Charlie. Am I the only one who really wants to see Matt's video on hard drugs now? As soon as Matt told me about that he had a dream that he wanted to do
it wasn't even the main dream. It was like a side point in a dream. It was like me thinking, maybe it's token. Anyway, on with this dream. Let's go and do the idea of weird stuff we're doing in this dream.
Then a Cool Ghost video on hard drugs. I was like, well, that's the Christmas special sort of.
That's one in joke, which I think would be so niche that it would just not work and get us into a lot of trouble.
Oh man, it would be. I think like 4 times a year in a Cool Ghost video. There's a brief aside or a mention of like, hey kids, drugs. Here's some facts. Yeah, not drugs aren't cool because that's been done, but like
just some facts.
Here's some facts.
Actually, I really like that. That might happen.
I think it's really funny. Oh, something else I wanted to say is that people at home should know that since we started doing Cool Ghosts, Matt's flat has become exponentially spookier. Like the amount of flickering lights in this flat, and trips to the basement to film stuff, but also
there's weird noises coming from the whole building,
from outdoors as well. I'm not even making this.
He's not joking. No, it's actually the lights in my house are flickering almost constantly.
Also,
there's a lot more candles. I think that was my who put them up around the flat, but maybe it was a ghost.
But what spirit is imploring her to do it? Also, since we started Cool Ghosts, my other half and I have been watching a lot of horror movies. Coincidence? You decide.
I'm intrigued what you guys think about Cool Ghosts, though. We were talking about this before. Like, the logo, the name, the colour, it's already grown on us. We've kind of almost entirely forgotten that ghosts are a part of it.
Which we shouldn't, because ghosts are awesome.
It's mildly confusing. We like it. We like it.
I caught this earlier when it was higher up, before it fell from grace. James Simons, slightly off topic, but on Christmas, when do you open presents? Do you open them after Christmas dinner / lunch? Do you wait for the Queen's speech?
Queen?
Do you watch the Queen's speech?
Queen? Can fuck off.
I have never watched the Queen's speech in my life.
I'm not a big fan of the monarchy. I don't despise
it. Are you like one of those actual slightly tedious Republicans who defines themselves by like, we should get rid of the monarchy because
I think we probably should, but I'm not like asked about it, you know. I just think they're a bit of a I think it's one of those things where keep them, fine, but let's not pretend that they mean anything other than tourism. Like, because really
they also have a track record of doing some charity work. I feel
I mean that's good. But if you're a millionaire, it's not that difficult, is it?
You know what? That's true. You know what? In Vancouver, they've eliminated the penny and the 2-penny piece.
Good for them. I don't know. I
feel more strongly about eliminating the penny than I do about eliminating the Queen.
In a way, like
why not start with pennies? Yeah.
I don't want to eliminate the Queen. That's a bit much. I just think
it's one shot.
I just think like the Queen's speech. It's like kind of when the Oxford Dictionary decides that there's a new word they're adding. It's kind of just a bit irrelevant now.
I was gonna bang the table in frustration, but I can't because it'll jostle the mic. Yeah. But bang! We're not answering the question.
Oh yeah, no. We pretty flex. We used to. I mean, to be honest,
pretty flex.
We have a rule. Usually, you can open.
Is there the need for abbreviations when like you got to bring out your street side?
Pretty flex, yeah.
When referring to Chris, pretty flex with the Chris Prez, yeah.
Put my foot on my head.
No one needed to see that.
No, I know.
They didn't. In fact, I'm the only one who was exposed to a shot of your flexing crotch.
It's fine. There's nothing down there. Anyway,
only child, so Christmas presents get opened when I say so, which is immediately.
We usually have one first thing. Well, when we were kids, it was like you were allowed one, so you had to pick the one that was the good one. And really, what's the point in that? You would just confirm.
No, you want to open. If you're getting one, you want it to be a shit one, so you've got something to look forward to.
Well, no, you want to confirm you have definitely got.
You have definitely got
an N64.
Okay.
I just need to be sure. And then afterwards, you'll get Zelda. It used to be that it used to be that we all go to church and then we'd open them after church before lunch.
Oh yeah, because your dad's a church.
Yeah, my dad's an actual church. It's really difficult.
This is why Matt's so tall.
Yeah, it is.
Church.
My mother was a steeple. But yeah, it means that now we don't go to church, but my parents sometimes do, which means basically they go and do that. We have a lie-in because we're hungover, and then we get up and we sort of. But it's kind of nice actually. I really like Christmas these days. It used to be about like me and my brother excitedly opening stuff, whereas now like me and my brother like we're both pretty chill guys and we don't really want anything. Like, and actually it's nice to have.
You want
gifts.
For nothing.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want anything. I'm happy. Like, I mean, I'm happy today. So what do I want tomorrow? Like, I'm okay. Like, I don't really need anything. So it's more actually nice that we now surprise our parents with really cool things. So we actually get them like things that they're not expecting.
The mantle has been passed.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. It's really cool, like seeing your mum being like super happy because you've got something like really nice. The simple things like my mum actually liked playing on little handheld games. So one year I bought her like a Nintendo DS, and it's sort of thing she'd never buy for herself and she'd never expect to get. And it's like, yeah, mum, you got your own fucking games console. And she's just like, it's kind of cool, like getting to reverse that a bit. I'm looking forward to having kids one day, hopefully, because it'd be like nice to do that again.
I mean, yeah, that does. If you're
That's
buying
like the ultimate, isn't it?
If you're buying a DS for your mum, that does make you sound super broody.
I don't know. Like, it's just
speaking of broodiness, Damien Summer, who made Chesh and the Yorg.
You're having a child with him?
I've been creeping on his Instagram, and he's got a really cool lizard, and I was asking about his lizard, and he suggested I get a crested gecko. Crested gecko, you don't even need to feed insects. It really likes strawberry jam. So you could like have it on your palm, it's about this big, and you have some strawberry jam, and then it would just be, yes, exactly. Look, I'll bring up a Google image search of this. Stop. For the love of God.
I like being a gecko eating strawberry jam.
Crested gecko. Is there like a chat I can type this into? Look at that. Isn't he nice?
Isn't he beautiful?
Look at that. Staring out at you from inside.
They don't need to look at it. I've just done an impression
Matt,
of it for like
without having seen it,
seconds.
Matt did the most flawless impression.
So this is basically what I do with my girlfriend all the time. I don't know why she puts up with me.
Yeah, I've heard that, but we don't need to hear about, what you do in the bedroom.
Nope. Nobody does.
What you did there was make an unintentional reference to cunnilingus. I'm having fun. Let's go all the way down to the bottom where the questions
that nobody wants to hear.
Oh God!
I guess the problem is some of those aren't actually questions. Which is, which is difficult.
Ooh, here we go. Oz Mills. Hello, Oz. Good to see you. Regular appearance when me and at Aniki21 are watching together like some sort of weird date.
That's nice.
That is awesome. What drinks do you guys tend to have in these hangouts so we can match next time? Question mark. How romantic.
I don't know. It depends. I mean, usually beer, but not always. I mean,
we had cider. We had like farmhouse cider.
Last time I had cider because I had Christmas cider, but that's like not a really regular fixture. It's just something that happened to be on my mantelpiece.
Oz, you know what? you do you. I did see, actually, some people talking about the Cool Girls Hangout drinking game, which is that the game is you have a drink whenever we have a drink, but there's 2 of us to 1 of you. So you're gonna drink twice as much.
So you need a friend.
Or you need a friend, or
twice as much
to be really sad about something.
Yeah, the thing is, we do this at the end of the day because it's like we kind of try and hope that some people from America. I wonder how many from America are actually watching this. Shout out if you're from America.
Yeah, drop a question and everyone else will vote it if you're in America, so we can see where. And tell us something about where you're from.
Because if you're not from America, we don't need to do it this late.
that is true.
But it means that by the end of the day, we've had a busy day. Done some writing, done some video, done some game, done some podcast, done some beer. So
that sounds like you make our life sound so hard. Games, podcasts, and videos.
I've been working since 6 a.m.
That is crazy.
Yeah,
I've been working since 7, so I thought I heard you beat.
Today is sweet cheeks. Most days.
Oz, just drink whatever, but enjoy yourself.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, just drink whatever you want to drink. You know?
If anyone else is watching this with a significant other or friend or crested gecko, let me know because I need tips. Hey.
I don't like it when people have like drinks. I don't know. It's like drink what you're in. I used to get grief for like drinking gin and tonics at one point. It's like, what? Why I drink what I
G&Ts?
Have what you want. I know, right? It's the North. It's very provincial, you know.
Muriarty asks, cool ghost review of different painkillers for your back injury. Now that's some niche content not often catered to.
Well, I talked about this a little bit on Regular Features, which is a podcast I do, which is not safe for children. But I made the mistake of when they asked me how bad the pain was of not saying 10, because that's a secret answer. In England, if you get in an ambulance, which means they give you morphine, morphine is fun. From what my mother told me, actually. She said it's great. Press the smack button.
I must have related the story of what happened when I got run over.
You got morphine?
I did, but I only found out I was run over and on morphine because I was crossing the road, blackout, no memory. And the next thing I know is a woman saying to me, "Can you hear me?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I'm in the ambulance. I must have told you the story. I'm in the ambulance at this point. And the next thing she says after "Can you hear me?" is, "I need permission to cut your clothes off." And I went, "Sure." and then like scissors working their way up my trousers and everything.
When did this happen?
They're like, "You've been in an accident." And I'm like, "Cool." And they were driving me to hospital. This was years ago. Yeah. I had the hood of my leather jacket up, so and I didn't look for cars.
That is super teenager.
You know what the worst thing is? They can't legally tell you what hit you, so I don't know if it was a truck or like a smart car or a milk float.
You know, I got hit by a car when I was about 18, and it was a similar thing. I was crossing the road whilst listening to the Mars Volta very loudly, and I didn't look. Such a teenager.
I must have been listening to music, but I don't know what I would have been listening to.
Man, I used to love listening to the Mars Volta really loud, like too loud, and not looking where I was going when I was doing anything. Anyway, I got hit by a car. But what was great is because I had mega like baggy jeans, I had this weird thing where I saw it at the very last minute, and I sort of hopped onto the bonnet. And because my jeans were so baggy, what happened was the movement of the car, like rather than me spinning around
jeans billowed up like a parachute, and in Just Cause, you just flew into the sky.
It caught my jeans, and it meant that my jeans span around. And then what happened is I did eventually start spinning myself, but not before my jeans had spun around, which meant that when I went over the car and then hit the ground the other end, it meant that I wasn't spinning that much when I hit the ground, which meant that I hit the ground with my arms, but I didn't break anything. It just sort of hurt. But then I tried to get up and I couldn't move my leg. I couldn't move my leg because my jean. Wait,
hang on. How did you end up on the other side of the car?
Because I went over it.
Wouldn't that mean that your jeans have been dragged strung over the length of the car?
No, because they got spun. The leg got
spun around.
So then I got up,
but
and
I
couldn't get up because I couldn't move my leg. And then I was like, "Oh my god, I fucked my leg." And I looked at it, and I realized that my jean trousers had been.
It's just because they've twisted so much
around my leg that it was like I had to really pull them because they basically put my leg so it was super straight, and I couldn't and I got up and I was fine. But the funny thing about that is that there was a car as I hit them, they hit me, I went over them, boomf, and then they just drove off really quickly, which meant they probably thought they really hurt someone. Actually, I was fine.
My dad got run over and he caught the number plate as they were driving away, and he got loads of money in damages because he memorized the number plate as they were driving away.
See, I wouldn't have got money in damages because they didn't damage me.
I was actually
emotional pain.
Fine.
Man. I went to life drawing the next day, and I got a round of applause from everyone because everyone else was complaining
about your jeans.
Someone else was complaining about having to stand up, and then because I sort of mentioned it like earlier or something in the day, like, and he overheard a conversation. He was like, "Well, this guy got hit by a car, and he's doing live drawing."
And then
fucking applaud him.
There was a round of applause. Then they all stood on their tables.
It was under duress. I was going to say.
I see. It was all like
as art school teachers are fucking weird, man.
You know how many questions have built up while we've been talking about being run over that are about video games.
The cool ghosts thing.
But I thought if people didn't find that tangent interesting,
it was a tangent, wasn't it? But I didn't even answer what the best painkillers were. To be honest, I don't like painkillers.
I've still got, from when I got run over, I've still got codeine the NHS gave me.
I've got something similar, yeah. I think it's like pretty light stuff. They basically realised I was fine. I was just panicking because it was my spine. It got fucked up, but it's all fine now. You don't want to mess around with your spine. And we got the NHS, it's great. You can check.
Deary me. I was going to say, if you want to pick a question, while I explain this, we wanted to have Christmas music playing on this. Softly in the background. And the problem with that is we realized it might when we upload the video to YouTube later, it would have adverts on it. So you guys should play Christmas music at your end, level the volume so you can still hear us and the Christmas music, and I think that would be really good. Or we could just sing it, which is like I'm a lizard,
I can't be bothered.
You're putting me off the idea of a lizard. Yeah, I skipped the ones.
I'm just gonna say I'm sorry.
Who's the question?
It's from John Parkinson. I'm sorry, John Parkinson, but I can't be bothered thinking about whether or not I've played digital versions of board games that are better than the original. Apart from, actually, I can answer this really quickly. There was a Monopoly on the PlayStation 2. Was really good because it kind of automated all of the money, and it let you do the auctions hidden live. And it let you do all the stuff, and it was just really fast.
There's an answer to this. Neuroshima Hex. Neuroshima Hex is better than the original. It's the only one.
But I quite like the Monopoly game on the PS2 because it turns out that if you play that game at a lightning pace with computers, it's actually all right because it doesn't drag on. It's just over really quickly. Okay.
I asked you to look for a question, you just picked out the one at the top.
I'm sorry.
You got to plunge deep.
I'm sorry.
Here, roll the scroll wheel at random.
Roll the scroll.
And we got to pick one of these here.
Okay. Nice to finally be at one. I assume a hangout.
Yeah.
Shame I don't have any Twixers on me tonight. Classic Twix reference. I like that. That's old school.
Hello, Rasench.
Hello, Rasench. I was going to say it there.
Thank you very much. I was chiming in. It was banter. It was back and forth.
Yeah. Classic.
Twix
is a reference back to my Twix addiction back in the old video game days. Many days. I'm not as big into sugar anymore. The question, of course, is what game is your biggest disappointment of the year? For his, it's Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain.
How could you be disappointed?
Well, maybe you finished it. I don't know. I mean, we were talking about this earlier, and the fact that
then you're a fool because visibly that game gets worse the more you play.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I really enjoyed it, but I kind of also realized that it was diminishing returns. So
I played it for like
kind of done with this.
Thing is, right? I played it for like 70 hours off the end of it.
Well, I didn't play that much.
You finish Act 1.
Yeah,
Act 1 because it goes Afghanistan, then it goes Africa, and then it goes Afghanistan, and you go done, tapping out. I'm over, and then you have a great time with it, and it's good.
It's I don't know. There's not, I mean,
you were pretty disappointed when there was some kind of cross-play. There was some hardware you bought that didn't stream to your TV fast enough.
Oh, that was the more hardware really, but I kind of bought that to be.
It's still kind of a disappointment, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I was disappointed with the. I kind of knew it wouldn't be that great, but I bought a PS TV in the hope of streaming my PS4 to my front room. It's a bit laggy. It's kind of the same as on the Vita, but you kind of, I don't know, when I was using the Vita, I was kind of doing it in another house, so I wasn't expecting that good. Also, I think the Steam controller is pretty weak. I'm pretty disappointed in that. I had a lot of high hopes for that. I thought it was going to be that kind of really nice halfway house between controller, mouse, and keyboard, and it kind of isn't. I'm kind of relatively savvy now about not getting too interested about things that aren't going to interest me anymore.
Oh yeah, I only play video games these days when I've heard they're really, really good, and I really trust my friends.
And I don't really do the hype stuff anymore. I don't really like.
You want to wear the Santa hat for a bit?
Yeah, I should wear it. I don't really get into it. Like everyone goes a bit mad, and I kind of think I'll wait to hear if it's good or not first because I don't like being disappointed, and I've kind of done a bit with the kind of the parade of hype. You know, it's a bit much.
Ross, if you don't want to be disappointed, just spend about 15 years building up a web of connections within the games industry.
You can tell you about things whether or not good before they come out. Yeah, that does help.
There you go. I'm spinning the scroll wheel. God, there's loads of questions.
Yeah.
Alone Music, which is a very maudlin username. Hello, Alone. Thank you for your question. Asks, thanks to Dark Souls, I'm completely addicted to sorcery! Exclam on my phone. How is it possible to make Inkle give every Steve Jackson game the same treatment immediately? To which I say, well, Inkle made 80 days, so maybe if we just don't make them make Steve Jackson games, then maybe they'll make something as awesome as 80 Days again, which would be really good. And they should do that instead.
My other half said to me the other day that I look like the elf on the shelf.
Oh, the doll?
Yeah.
There are some really good vines about Elf on a Shelf.
I know.
People playing with the doll and just having to move closer.
It's a weird thing. It's like this idea that you're just watching your kids.
So my answer to your question alone is no, that's the wrong question. You're wrong. Do you have an answer to the question?
Yeah, I think it's the same. I think
great.
I think it's the same. I really like sorcery, but I actually think that what they've done is they've chosen like one of the best things for it, and they've done it. And there might be some other ones, and sure, do it, but let them do some other stuff.
I did a Sonic 2 Choose Your Own Adventure book, which I think I've talked about in Dark Souls before.
You'll find 10 rings.
If Inkle... No, it was weird and meta because you would find game cartridges.
You'll find a dead animal.
No,
a robot.
You found Mega Drive cartridges and then you had to plug them into machines.
That's weird.
Very weird. If you want to look it up, Sonic Choose Your Own Adventure book, you'll probably get it.
That is weird.
You know what? So many questions with upvotes. What's at the bottom, though? What's at the bottom? Let's find out what the worst questions are at the very bottom.
They're not questions.
They're not even questions.
I knew this would happen.
The best painkiller is bacon. Good evening. Good evening, Alec Norton. Osmill says, Jesus Christ, guys, how much have you had a drink? In answer, I've had one beer.
1.5 beers, which is quite tight.
This is what you should see us.
How do we get on this? The problem is just comments now, which is nice. But
why does Enter automatically send these things? It's silly.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I've probably missed my chance to make a sandwich. It's true. More games should be dipped in tea. It's true. Scotland, that's where I'm from, says Karate Matty. I like to call it Pratt Roulette.
Pratt Roulette that's a good pun, Ben.
That's fantastic. Oh, we have Eric Kreisgau, USA, Nashville, Tennessee, board game collector. I can't stop. Help. You don't need help, Eric. You need more board games.
From the Netherlands as well.
Near the boat to Newcastle is where I'm from. Wow, that's cool. Karima says Matt plus hard drugs equals new Zoomer video, question mark.
I don't think you could do After Effects on drugs. It's quite complicated.
Osmail says I can only invest in Armada or X-Wing. Which should I get? Probably X-Wing. Maybe Armada. So that's my answer to that question.
Depends how much money you've got. If you haven't got enough money for both, probably not Armada because it's really expensive.
Oh man, okay, right. That's just enough time going around the den of idiots at the very bottom of the list. Oh, this is a very upvoted one. I like this.
Yeah.
Muriati asks, do you have a question you would like to ask us? Well, we asked if you were American and where were you from, and not many of that got upvoted.
Well, people did a bit because people were from America and people from Netherlands, people from other places. I think maybe not that many people in America watching them. Maybe it's a lot of Europeans who are checking this out.
Sure. No, all the questions I want to ask are not safe for work or for asking polite strangers.
I don't know. It's tough. It's a weird one. It's I mean, I guess it's tricky. Kind of there's part of me that thinks like, I'd be interested to know from these guys, like, are they enjoying cool ghosts? Like, what they think of it? But it's kind of difficult because at the same time, like, people are generally fairly forthcoming with that stuff. If they want to say something, then they've got like loads of ways to say it, and they often do. Like, leave it in comments below stuff or just send messages but even like when I remember when we first sort of started doing some of the wider stuff with Shut Up and Sit Down, we had that little questionnaire, didn't we, about like, what do you want? Like, and we asked
which was actually the worst thing we've it was extremely useful, the questionnaire.
It ended up being useful, but in a weird way, because we genuinely said, like, let us know in this questionnaire what you want, and there was no consensus. It was like the only consensus was like,
do more stuff,
which is like so intangible that it's almost impossible, yeah. So I mean, there's always that. It's like, obviously you guys might say do more stuff, and it's like, okay, but actually what we found interesting about Cool Ghosts is in a way like trying not to go too nuts and trying to actually spend the time to find good things and explain why they're good. And because we have actually found that on our busier weeks for this, people have said, whoa, I can't watch all this video. Like, people like actually say, I don't have time to watch this much video, which is, I think, a kind of fascinating opposite to what most kind of YouTube stuff is like, which is nice.
I do have
if you want to tell us if you've got something interesting to say, then I guess, but yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? Just if you have something interesting to say about Cool Ghosts or the output, then throw it in there.
I guess, yeah. I guess say what do you love about it? Why do you you know, my question for you guys, and you don't have to answer now. You could always just send a message or something, but you know, any way you like. But if you've got a particular reason why you really like, because now especially like crowdfunding is, I'm falling off my own chair. Crowdfunding is not just like us anymore. It's like crowdfunding is like, well, not just me. I guess I started it ages ago, but it's everywhere now. Everyone's crowdfunding. So I think it's always good to know why you guys have chosen to fund us rather than, I mean, you might fund other things as well, but you know, it's always good to know. It's always good to know why people like what you're doing, just so you can make sure that you're on the right track.
I agree with that. My question is, what is, and this is a question with a correct answer, and I'll be looking for it. And if anyone gets it, they'll get a high five from me. What is the best level in any Hitman game? And you can put there's an answer, but we'll come back to this at the end of the live hangout.
I'll have a think.
There is one level that is best, and it is set in Europe. That's the one clue you'll get.
I think I might know, but we'll have a think.
Okay, done. Alex Norton's upvoted question asks.
That's a good question.
This year, Quinn changed his stance on Soma after delving deeper into it. Is there a game that's memorable for you for having a drastic U-turn in your opinion on it? I was in the Something for the Weekend post we did last weekend. I was a little pissy about Rainbow Six Siege, and I played some more of it, and it's better than I thought. But it's not a U-turn; it's more like a 45-degree like
veer left,
veer left into a bush or off the motorway of sadness. Have a U-turn you've done?
Yeah, I mean, there was a big U-turn this year that like kind of like gained quite a bit of controversy and is sort of used as sort of ammunition against me because I'm obviously an evil social justice monster. But yeah, there was a big U-turn I kind of had with the vanishing of Ethan Carter, because it wasn't actually, the thing was, it's funny how I made a video about that game, and then I decided to take it down because my opinion of the game, my feelings towards the game, didn't really reflect the video anymore, and so I kind of felt like I didn't want it there. I didn't want it to exist as a sort of permanent thing. And it's weird. We've just done the top 50 games, board games on Shut Up and Sit Down, and it's really good. Just check it out. It's been on this week. It's going up. But for some of them, we've ended up like keeping the same copy as last year because we look at it and go, yeah, this is really great writing, it's really fun, and it still reflects exactly how we feel about this, so it's fine. But for some of them, we've gone back and changed it, and you kind of feel like, actually, I feel a bit differently about this now, so you update it. And in this case, it was one of these things where, like, the way I felt about this game had actually changed quite dramatically. So I just thought, I'm just going to remove this video, because
you should probably, I mean, just for this, it becomes a far more interesting story if people know why your opinions on it change.
Yeah, well, I mean, basically, it's kind of vaguely spoilery, but I guess it's been out on all the consoles now if you had a chance to play it if you want to anyway. But it's basically, it's a story where, like, you are this character, you're a detective going around trying to solve this murder, this missing boy. Sorry, not murder, but there's murders along the way, and it's about his family. And it's kind of this cool little story where you realize that you're solving these murderers and you're kind of this cool supernatural detective almost. And then as the story progresses, you start to realize that it has these moments where it kind of flickers out of the kind of murder scenarios, and you kind of have these drawings and these stories, and it's a bit weird and you don't know what's going on. And then you kind of work out that actually this character you're playing, this character you are, this detective, is not real. It's the invention of this boy. It's the invention of Ethan Carter. And the story is really about you're in his head. And it's a sad story, basically, about this boy who's kind of conjured up this character into his head because he is a very creative, misunderstood young boy from a family who the family are stupid and they don't respect him or understand him. And it's kind of like Billy Elliot, you know, this thing of like, you know, he's too smart. These guys are kind of a bit more simple. They don't get it and they don't respect him. But it's Billy Elliot without the happy ending. And I thought it was a nice story. It was touching. But then it became this thing of because of all of the sort of like the horrible Gamergate stuff. Adrian Schmitz was one of the kind of like leading, well, not leading, but he was one of the guys who was a developer who really got behind it and started writing a lot of op-eds and stuff and sort of things that make you go, whoa, you've got some like really horrible opinions. Not like that he's like straight up racist or something, but he's clearly this sort of guy who really has this weird view, like this very kind of egocentric view that like he doesn't believe that lots of people are having a bad time. And it's this weird thing of having an insight into the creator of the game, having insight into one of the lead dev. Well, he was the lead dev, I think, of he's the lead of the studio who made the game. You kind of go, it changed the tone of the story for me, and it became less about this sad story of a boy being misunderstood and more of this sort of like, oh, no one gets me. It became this like, it added a different tone to the narrative, you know, of it being more about like this sort of like, nobody gets me. I don't know. It was this weird thing where it changed the way I looked at the story and changed the way I looked at the narrative and made it like, just it's kind of another poor white boy who feels like he's too clever and his family don't get him, and it just felt very much like, wow, you know, it was weird how it went from being like, that's a nice touching story, to being like, oh man, like it just.
There's the idea that like, you know, you should separate the art from the artist, but it's difficult.
Well, it's an option. That's the thing. It's people always say you should separate the art from the artist, but that's always an option. I really believe.
Well,
that, like,
it's also harder if what the artist has done permanently changes the art in some respect. Like what absolutely. You found out about him actually changed what the game was doing.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been one of these things where it was like just a really good like mechanical game, and it could have been like, oh, by the way, I'm also a racist, and I'd be like, ah, man, you're a racist, but this is still a good game. Whereas because this game is a reflection of somebody's kind of beliefs and a reflection of somebody's worldviews, when you get a better understanding of their worldviews, it just comes across as like really, it changed my attitude of it from being like, this is quite a sweet, simple story, maybe a bit on the crass side, but nice enough done, to being like, this is kind of like A-level students, like kind of like A-level drama student, like, oh, life is so hard for me. It just it changed my tone from being like a sad story to being like, oh, isn't it hard being a poor, misunderstood, like, man.
Yeah.
And I was like, it was one of these things where, and the weird thing is now this has sort of been spun into this idea that like, because I disagree with them, I've taken down my review. And it's like, the thing about that video was it wasn't a review. It was a recommendation. I didn't talk about the game. I just basically showed some artwork and said, you've got to play this, it's great. And so it's like, it's a recommendation. I think at any point, if you've recommended something, you should feel free to then just go, retcon, I don't recommend this anymore.
I mean, the whole weird thing about entitlement.
Well, the same way with Soma, the fact that you said this is kind of, I don't like it. And then you went, actually, no, I'm taking that back and I'm recommending it. It was just the reverse of that. It was just actually, I've changed my mind. But yeah.
It's all good.
It's a long answer, but hey.
Wait, I scrolled this down because it must have been upvoted. I'll stop here because it's great. R2.2, thank you very much for subscribing and watching this hangout. Dude, you got a great question as well. What is your opinion on mince pies? They're great. They're even better when feeding them to Americans who will only know mince in the term mince meat.
I've always been confused about that concept.
Me too, man. But yeah, it's good to force someone else to endure that confusion.
Well, you don't want to use force meat. That's different.
Mince pies are just awesome. They're such a good dessert because they got that thing where they taste like they're healthy, even though they're obviously not because it's fruit.
Yeah, they've got like lemon rind in them.
Best thing. Oh, I also had an answer for this. Karima asks, is there a game like Subterfuge, brackets real-time phone game, I can play with my friends without all the betrayal and misery? To which I would point you towards Blight of the Immortals.
Oh, really?
Blight of the Immortals, the developer of Neptune's Pride, went on to make a real-time game called Blight of the Immortals, which has... it's a great concept.
Is it co-op?
Yes-ish. So the funny thing about Blight is... it has a zombie plague in a fantasy world. So let's say you're elves and I'm orcs.
Right.
Ordinarily we'd be fighting. But now there's a zombie plague. And the zombie plague slowly spreads and takes over towns. And then when it takes over a town, it exponentially produces zombies. Like imagine an AI player in Neptune's Pride or Subterfuge, which just does nothing but produce on a slightly higher rate than you and attack according to predictable patterns. So it's a mindless zombie plague. It's almost like... one of those sci-fi diseases that takes control of something and then creates more and takes control of something else. It's unstoppable. Here's the thing. Blight of the Immortals has two possible win conditions, one of which is the zombies wipe everyone out, the other of which is the zombies are wiped out, but the player who killed the most zombies wins the game. Meaning, so you can play it as a co-op, Karima, and that's what you should go and do, but the amazing twist in it is you end up in these situations where it's like, oh, those zombies are heading towards Matt. I could attack them, but if I wait, Matt's empire will be made to be a little bit smaller, and so it just leads to players leaving the zombies, and then the zombies will take over the entire world.
It's a sort of co-op, yeah.
It's pseudo co-op, and very
because I like the idea of a proper real-time co-op thing where you're actually badgering your friends to help you, but not help you against somebody else, like help you against a greater good without the tricks and the caveats.
Well, you could play it without that way, right?
Yeah, you could, but yeah, no, is there an option you can switch on and off? Or is
I don't know. It's still in beta. It's been in beta for like 4 years.
Well, it seems like they're already one step ahead of that whole, like, maybe we do something like this, but make it not horrible.
Yeah. Light of the Immortals, check it out.
Because I felt bad actually for the Subterfuge devs, because I was like, they loved the series at first, and I was like, oh man, it's gonna get to a point like where I'm just gonna go literally fuck this game. But then they've retweeted the most recent one, so they are actually like they're staying in for the arc. And they have realised that actually it's a good representation of it being like we're really excited and then we have a really dark time, but then towards the end we start enjoying it again.
When we start after we're done with Subterfuge Diaries, I've told the developers I'm going to do a written post on Cool Ghost saying like, hey, guess what? I played it with random strangers and it's totally fine.
Yeah, no, I think that'd be really nice because also like it's like we just got affected by it in a way which just was really unexpected, and I think it was the people we got involved, just a group of people uniquely not suited to it. And I also think that it would just be, having heard about you talk about it, I think playing against strangers would be great fun.
The best.
And I'd really like to read. I'm looking forward to reading that piece just because I'm sure it's really good.
It's going to be good because I get to talk about the rando I played online.
Because it's not an evil game. It's a fun game with randoms. It's just we're not with friends.
Yeah. And when I played it with a stranger and I got his queen in a really clever play, and when he realised his queen was dead, in the instant before he died, he saw it, went, "Oh, beautiful! That's a really great play. Thanks for the game," and gifted everything he had to me.
Yeah.
And it's just like, she's just, fuck! That's like the most gentlemanly and awesome thing. It's like, oh, you bested me. Here are my armies. Because I want you to win. Beautiful.
That is cool.
Michael, sorry, Michael. Hey, Michael.
I'm going to do it for a wee.
Michael says, hey, Berlin, Germany here. Presumably not the city of Berlin. He's probably saying he's in Berlin. I'm in London this week for Video Brain's Christmas thing. Will I meet any of you there? More general. You're visiting board game events now for Shut Up and Sit Down. Now, with Cool Ghosts, will you attend more video game festivals? Feral, Vector, etc.? Well, I can say that we probably won't be at Video Brains just because Matt and I are going on holiday this Christmas. And, I mean, Video Brains is normally the kind of thing that we'd like to do, but we won't be there, so you're out of luck. As to attending video game festivals, I've got to say that Matt and I are kind of... we tend not to do that anymore. We used to do it when we worked for like important websites and magazines, but these days those kind of video games events tend not to hold anything for us. The video game events we go to that you might see is Games Developers Convention, GDC, because that's really great and you learn so much and meet really great people. But in terms of like the events that are for punters like PAX or E3, we probably won't go to because they don't have very much for us to go and do and see, because it's the internet. We can play everything at home, and we know enough people now that if there's an indie game we really want to play, we probably know a guy who knows a girl who knows a guy who knows a girl who can get us a code. So sorry, but we like to stay at home and light scented candles and write meaningful scripts and listen to music because we can do that. Isn't that right, Matt?
Yes. That's perfectly right. I pretty much showed you. Yeah, we don't really get to festivals and stuff. I'm pretty strict. I mean, I think I've kind of made some life changes in the past year, which means I don't work on the weekends, really. I mean, I do it very, very occasionally if it's something I really want to do. But it's funny how often I get PRs and stuff saying, are you coming to this thing? And it's like, it's a weekend. I'm not doing work on the weekends. Like,
turns out once you have a significant other who you really like, it's tough to justify that.
Yeah, you sort of think you don't want to end up being 40 and realize you spent all your weekends when you could have been with your loved ones just doing things that are pointless.
When you're 14, though, great.
Do what you want, yeah. When I used to live on my own, it was, I'd happily just set up. It's like I have people saying to me like, "Oh, you watching the Sony PSX show thing?" And it's like when I was back living on my own, like on a Saturday night if I wasn't out, I'd be like, "Yeah, I might stay and watch it and stream it." But I've got another half. I'm not going to be like, "No, I'm not going to watch TV with this evening. I'm watching this and working." It's like, nah, I don't work on weekends.
Boom! You made that sound about as not cool as I did, so that's good.
I'm not very cool anymore. It's fine.
Oh shit! Muriarty says your Twitter wished us good night, Matt, but you are clearly not asleep. Why are you lying to us?
Life is a lie.
Great, thanks for that question, Muriarty. The answer is he has them on timers.
Yeah, they're on timers. I mean, like people keep saying like, how do you do it every day? It's like, if you look at the tweet, it literally says posted by IFFTT. It's like, it's not a secret. I did do it manually at first, but then somebody said, hey, wouldn't it be cool if they carried on forever, even if you lived or died? And I was like, yeah. So I just set it on like a timer now. So it happens every day, 8 a.m., 11 a.m. It's good.
Karima.
It's good for you. It means you go to bed at the right time. It's good for me. It means I get reminded I should be in bed. And it's good for everyone because it means if I die in a horrible accident, then my legacy will live on in a really weird way until Twitter goes, actually, this is the only thing this account is tweeting, and it sadly gets blocked due to spam. The end.
Karima is now my favorite Funwraith.
Yeah,
that's a title that's up for grabs, everybody. If you do something amazing, you can become my favorite
Funwraith. This is totally a spam post.
What are your top 3 scented candles? No, it's a spam post if it then ends with scented candles available for buy.
Weird,
$29
long link.
That... hashtag question mark exclam. Karima.
Do you want me to leave?
No. Karima, I've got a really good idea, or a thing that you should do. If you like scented candles, what you can do, you can buy 20 Yankee scented candle samplers from Amazon in a bag for about £16, and it is the cheapest for hour you'll ever get a really high quality scented candle. Catch is you don't know what scented candles they're going to send you because it's like loads of little tiny ones. But you know what, Matt? You know what, Karima? That makes it a fun present because you open it up and you've got 16 flavors in there. You don't know what you're going to get. There's like crazy names as well. You can get cinnamon ones or just ones with names like A Child's Wish or yeah, it's...
What the fuck does that smell like?
I don't know, man.
Some children would like just wish for a bath full of candy flakes.
Yeah.
I want to be in a town full of chocolate.
Or like their dad to come home.
Yeah, but what does that smell like? Hope.
Aftershave, I guess. But no, they're all pretty good because Yankee Candle makes the good
like
shit.
Jack Daniels and Old Spice.
Good work, Karima.
Oh God. I don't know if it's just like this incredible thing of like you being like talking about candles, and it's like part of me is going, Quinton's an expert on scent of candle. The other half's me going, maybe I should buy a bag of scent.
You should. Candles. They're really good. They're really good at this time of year. James Simons asks, why do you not care enough to personally wish us good night and instead enslave a robot to post for you?
Because I am not an organized person.
You are so organized.
No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm motivated, and I have an iron will, but I am terrible at schedules, and it's because my iron will doesn't want to do schedules, and so I whenever I am up and about and doing things, I work like a motherfucker, but I don't always get out of, like, for example...
Oh, yeah, you and me are both bad enough.
For example, like, sometimes I get up and I work from 6 a.m. Other days, I don't get out of bed till, like, 10:30. But when I'm conscious and up, I work really hard. But I don't know, like, the whole, like, having a schedule of being, like, I always do this at this time, I like to keep it flexible. I think if you
I think he was looking for, like, ethical justification and not the reason you can't be bothered.
It's not can't be bothered. It's just I would have messed it up.
It
wouldn't. That joke would not work unless every single day it posted it every single time. Although I did stop it after the Paris bombings because it felt a bit bad. But apart from that, it's every day. But then I got into an ethical quandary of I'm like, well, if I'm stopping it for this, then when else do I stop it for? Well, what disasters?
That's not an ethical quandary.
It is a bit. It's like, well, bad things happen all the time. When are you gonna like? I thought maybe these tweets should live above it all and just exist in this sort of like weird. But then I thought, no, you're a human. You're not a fucking like god. So maybe switch.
My favorite Times tweet is that Limmy, famous Scottish kind of sketch comedian, for about the last 3 years, once every 4 months or so, Limmy will tweet, if you get a chance, check out Daft Punk's Get Lucky, Sound of the Summer.
Yeah, no,
and that was pretty funny when he did it in summer because it's just funny anyway, because it's cheesy. It was funnier when he did it in winter. It was way funny when he did it the next summer.
I don't know if it's time to go every week.
I don't think it is. I think it's because it's perfect comic timing. It's not every week. It's like
every now and then.
It's every like 6 months.
Sorry about the robots.
Salaru C asks, what would a cool ghost candle would smell like? We'll ignore the glaring grammatical error.
That's fine.
In that sentence.
They're probably playing the drinking game, aren't they?
Yeah, you'd hope, wouldn't you?
We're having a beer, which means we're not allowed to have a go at anybody's typing or grammar. That's the rules. Like, you wouldn't do that in a pub.
Funny thing about writing, about doing like copywriting when you're drunk is you're just really good at it, and then you read it the next morning and it's awful and full of typos.
But usually you've had a nice idea, you've just written it badly.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Cool Ghost kind of smell of maybe campfires, wine, blood, like a tint of metal. Death. What does death smell like?
I'll show you.
I'm really excited because I've got a company sending me adventure scents, which are like tea bags.
I saw tea bags that smell of things that you hand to people.
Yeah, so it's like, you're around a campfire. You tell your D&D group and you hand everyone a tea bag they have to hold, which smells of campfires.
I really want to try and make the time to do some role playing with you because I think it'd be so much fun.
I'm good, man.
It's at the moment, it's just having so many fucking podcasts to do all the time.
Yeah, I got
podcast is fun, but when you do like loads of them, it just takes up your life.
I really like Karima here saying hashtag Matt Gecko GIF.
I had a lot of fun being a gecko. That is pretty much an insight into my personal life.
Oh, Morgan Gardner. Tell you what, Karima's my favourite Funwraith. Do you want Morgan to be yours? Because Morgan says he is currently in Australia. Literally 12 hours difference. The 3:30 in the morning hangout and then going to work almost killed me, but was totally worth it.
He said that in retrospect, so he sounds like he's
so 12 hours difference would be at 11 a.m. But no, 3:30 in the morning would be when we were in America, probably.
I don't know. I think you're saying this in answer to the America thing. So I don't know. Hello, Morgan, if you're still there.
Have him be your favourite.
Off to go to bed. All right, he's my favourite. Jesus.
Good. Morgan,
like you're trying to set me up with a guy in a club.
You're one of the two favourite.
Hey, this guy's great. This guy's great. He studies medicine. He's
Australian.
He's from Australia.
He's got that sexy accent.
He probably likes prawns.
Thank you,
Why
Morgan.
don't you dance?
You should dance with Morgan.
I'm not going to dance with Morgan.
Hashtag Matt Gecko Gorgon dance gif.
Fuck off with the Gecko Gorgon dance gif.
Okay, let's go to the top. Let's answer the question from the top down now. I'm going to stop picking things. James Simons. Hello, James. Given Matt's connection with award-nominated gaming podcast regular features, is there any possibility of a crossover video?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's yeah. There's a bunch of possibilities there. The difficulty is that Log runs a pub in Nottingham. Steve is now fully employed for an actual proper London paper, which is hilarious. I get to kind of fancy lunches with him all the time. It's fantastic. He just texts me and goes, "Do you want to have lunch?" Because he has to review a restaurant in town. And I'm just like, yeah. I'm hungover and I'm like, yeah, I'll come and eat like fancy lunch for free. It's fucking brilliant. You just give him a tip and you get all the food for free and he reviews it and I don't have to do anything. I'm literally just there like a ghost. It's brilliant. A ghost that eats food like Slimer, but less messy. Crossover stuff, and Gav obviously is at IGN as well, but he's pretty flex. There have been
Say flexible.
I don't know why I started saying pretty flex. It's entered my flexicon.
Flexicon. Wow.
There is an idea actually, which I had an idea. I can say this now. It's because it's like no more than this. But we did the little video series called the Movie Moments thing, like the best movie moments ever, which is not a regular features thing. It's done actually by a YouTube channel called Dog Foodie, Dog Food Films or something. I can't remember the exact name of the channel, but the editing is amazing. Like it's so good. It's a guy called Kieran who did it, and the joke of it is it's like these are the best movie moments ever, but it's like really going into like obscene detail over like tiny things in films which are like non-moments. And we had the idea of doing something similar about games, maybe for Cool Ghosts, but I need to chat about it more because I need to work out how it would work, and it's tricky because it's tricky, and it's like I like the movie moments videos a lot. I think the editing's awesome. I think it's just more a case of like, because I'm an arse, if we were doing a games one for Cool Ghosts, I want a bit more like directorial input onto it in terms of like the structure of them and the pacing and stuff, and it's boring. But yeah, that's possible. That's the thing that could happen. But yeah, they're all great guys and they're all great games. I mean, the whole reason the regular feature started is because we wanted to do a podcast, but we couldn't do a podcast about games because Future would legally own it, and Future at that point were arseholes. These days they seem a little bit better because they know they're on the ropes, but like, you know, they're good people. It's just everyone's busy and everyone has lives.
I've been scrolling and reading while you're answering that.
Good.
We've got some answers to my Hitman question.
Can I answer what? And you don't have to say anything, but I just want to give my answer.
Let me give you what they've got first.
Okay, fine.
So we got some suggestions. Osmil says, is the best level in a Hitman game not to play Hitman and instead watch Cool Ghosts?
Sycophancy will get you nowhere.
No. Eric Tingblad says the best Hitman level is 2 Hitman Blood Money levels, the Vineyard and the suburban location where you can dress up as the Killer Clown. No. Graham Kelly, Hitman Invitation to a Party, brackets, Embassy and Silent Assassin. That is a good level. It's a little tricky, though.
This one's my favourite.
Opera Theatre level in Hitman Blood Money. That is the best so far.
That's my favourite.
And it's all right. No, you are all wrong. The best level in... I love that I'm taking this seriously. No, the best level in Hitman is the Danish Docks, which was in the original Hitman, but then was redone in Hitman Blood Money. No, not Blood Money. Hitman Contracts as a late level. There is a man on a boat. There's a nuclear bomb in the boat, and you have to kill the man who's holding the boat hostage with a nuclear bomb in the boat. But once you do, the police storm the boat, and you've got the detonator that holds up, that will detonate the nuclear bomb. And you can hold it up and walk out, and it's the only Hitman level where you can walk out with police still following you because they won't shoot you because they're afraid that if they do, you'll drop the detonator. And the nuke will blow up. But everything about the level and contracts when they redid it, like the beautiful rain effects and lots of different ways to do it, and just incredible music. Jesper Kidd did the music in that on that level.
That was a hell of a thing.
Hitman, yeah, what, Hitman in general?
Yeah.
So when Hitman's on, it's astonishing. Like, we always talk about stealth games and leaving a stealth game, or MGS5, nobody knew I was there. I assassinated the guy. But Hitman walking out of a level through a crowd of people who have no idea who you are is like, oh God, one of the most rewarding things ever, surely.
It was good.
Nathan Wilkinson asks, any other Let's Plays planned for when the Subterfuge series has collapsed into a pile of misery and regret, which it is very soon to finish?
Yeah, it is. It's really difficult, actually, because we keep people saying, how many more episodes left? And I'm like, I don't fucking know. Like, because we're doing it on a weekly basis. And I keep there's been 2 weeks in a row now where I've been like saying to Quincy, yeah, this week's probably going to be like, condensed a bit. We should probably condense. You say like, oh, maybe we should condense it. I'm like, yeah, you're right. And then I get to it and I'm like, actually, there's enough here. Like, this week was kind of like a bit tenuous. I was like, this is getting complex because it's like, I kind of felt like maybe we could have condensed day 7 and day 8. But at the same time, day 7 on the episode wasn't bad. And I was kind of wary of trimming it too much because
we also don't want to spoil how many days are left in the game because that tells you how what happens.
And it's also difficult in the fact that it's sort of become at this stage. In the early stage, it's more about kind of trying to keep up the narrative of what's going on, of like the alliances and like the kind of sparring. But now it's sort of become this sort of weird human study of breakdowns and like different phases of realization. And so I'm kind of loath to chop it up too heavily. Mind you, we have now reached the point where, like, this episode, this week's one, it was very much a case of, like, it started to get a bit spotty. So there are some people who didn't really send anything for day 7 or didn't really send anything for day 8. So it kind of, this week's one was a bit of a blur. The days have started to blur because at first everyone was on it on a daily basis, and then everyone started to, like, miss a day or drop off a bit or do less. And it's because we kind of, as you said, everyone kind of burnt out a bit. It was like, it was almost too much.
A lot of people stopped responding to chat messages. Like, Joe would stop responding.
It was almost like it got too intense, and everyone almost like at different points. But from day like 6 to day like 8, everyone seemed to take a day where they just went and just didn't really engage with it at all.
Definitely, Lee and Pip leaving the game also takes some wind out of everyone's sails.
Yeah,
it's just sad.
It was just sad, and it was stressful, and I kind of
But we've mentioned this before. We do have a Let's Play series we're looking at doing, which is and I like this because, well, it's an Invisible Ink Let's Play because Matt wanted to do one. I said wait until they release the big DLC patch, which has landed now, and it's good. Love me some Invisible Ink, and I like that whenever we do a Let's Play series on Cool Ghosts, it's a bit different from the format that came before. We had Hellduffers, which was 2-player co-op. Still go back and watch episode 7. They have tanks because it makes me feel so fucking awesome.
Yeah, how did that happen?
No one knows. It's a miracle. We will never do anything that cool over again.
Was so good.
If you haven't seen episode 7, They Have Tanks, you have to watch it.
I mean, you have to watch another one first, just so
you don't even know because They Have Tanks is self-contained. The first 20 minutes shows you how hard it is, and then we just pull it out of the fire. Then we did obviously Subterfuge, which is a whole diary series.
Which was originally intended to be a very light, easy thing.
yeah, you have a habit of making
but,
huge editing jobs.
Yeah, but I could tell this was something special. And
yeah, you got it.
It's funny actually. We get messages about Subterfuge a lot, and the fact that it's like people say, "Oh, this is awesome. This is really special." And it's kind of nice that everyone kind of lots of people who love it recognize that no one really watches it. Like really, comparatively, for something that they think is brilliant, it's not really watched by many people. But that's what I like about Cool Ghost. It's like it doesn't matter.
It's
matter.
Like we don't care.
It's like we've made something we think it's awesome. As long as people are enjoying it, that's all that matters.
It's like when I do Cogwatch, which is like weird specific narrative thing. Like 5,000 people watch a Cogwatch, or 10,000 by the time it's been up for a few months. But of those 10,000 people, 3 of them are the developers who made the game, and they love it, and that's just worth it at that point.
Yeah.
But the reason that Invisible Ink is awesome is like for a Let's Play series, it's going to be Matt playing because he's not played much Invisible Ink, and me sat behind him, mostly drinking and occasionally offering advice if Matt wants it. So it's a third kind of new format that we've not really experimented in before. And it also lets me talk while Matt makes decisions, which is a kind of weird problem with strategy Let's Plays where if you're by yourself or in a pair playing together, it's kind of difficult to maintain conversation, whereas I can just ramble.
It should be fun. I mean, it's. I guess it's going to be similar because I did an XCOM series back in the day, which was just me rambling to myself whilst playing. And don't get me wrong, I'm probably actually going to do that again. Like, because I love XCOM 2, so I'm probably actually going to do a blind play when it comes out, which will probably just be me just playing it and just not knowing what I'm doing, and probably really frustrating people who do actually know what they're doing and have watched all of the pre-marketing material. But I think there's a real joy to be had in people not knowing what they're doing and learning the hard way.
Can I be a soldier in Sponge Squad too?
Oh yeah, of course you could be a soldier. You're going to get killed. Okay. Everybody dies, Quinns.
Matt Gecko GIF is another
most popular. That's not a question. I mean, yes is the answer, but yeah.
Okay, this is it. Here we go. 10 minutes of quick fire. We're going to clear the question.
That sounds impossible, but let's try. They're going to keep adding new ones.
They are. You fuckers, stop asking.
I'm getting some vodka.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. In which case, I'm going to stop. I wasn't expecting him to get vodka. I should finish my beer.
Hitting the vodka.
Seriously?
No, just put it where it's supposed to live.
Oh, I thought you'd come back with a big bottle, but
no, there's only a little bit left. I was making Bloody Marys when we were playing
Fury of
Dracula.
Okay, here we go. Alabaster Crippens says, "What's the most festival? Is there anything merry, family friendly, or should we all stick to board games? Festivus, like most festival video game."
As in the most Christmassy.
Anything you played as a kid, obviously.
Yeah, it's all about childhood, I'm afraid. For me, Ocarina of Time, it's not festive, it's got snow in it. The Banjo-Kazooie level with the Christmas presents.
Nights into Dreams, the Christmas version, done.
Bosh. Matt Gecko GIF, got to answer that. Matt Gecko GIF, yes.
Yes. Sam says, "Hi, I've seen that Matt's been playing JRPGs recently. Brackets, despite his better judgment. What are your favorite games of the genre? What is your biggest waste of time?"
Oh, biggest waste of time. That's really complicated. You answer some questions first. I'll think about it.
My favorite JRPG of the genre is probably Final Fantasy VI, but now it's probably Persona 4. Even though I didn't finish Persona 4, either of those two is pretty fine. I'm really looking forward to FF15 and Persona 5, though. It's going to be a good year for JRPGs.
I've still got huge fondness for Chrono Trigger.
We're never going to get through the questions at this rate.
And the biggest waste time.
Chrono Trigger is really good.
The biggest waste time easy is Blue Dragon, because I just played that for like 60 hours and then I realized that the story was
bad.
shit. It was going nowhere. And
Great.
What was I doing in my life?
Karima, again, ghosts are awesome. Christmas and ghosts do together well. The games of Christmas past, ? There's a video in there somewhere. It's not really a question, is it? It's more of a statement, so we're going to blitz on.
Blitz on. But ghosts are awesome. Ghosts and Christmas.
I agree. Matthew Baker says, "Do you often get most of the way through a game, get fed up with it, and just want to finish it even though you're not really enjoying it?" No! Why does everyone have a problem with this? No, Jesus. I know people who've platinumed games they don't even like anymore.
Yeah, no, I don't do that.
Stop doing it. Life's too short. You don't have enough time left.
I pretend I'm going to do it and go back. I just don't.
Good. Lie to yourself if you have to. There you go. Durfs says, "Are there any plans to do a video on game studios instead of specific games?" No. I could potentially see myself doing a video on a game creator, like an individual, like auteur, like Brendan Chung, I think, who makes Blender games. If you don't know his stuff, Jesus, look at that. Or the Catamites. Love that guy. Great. James Simmons asks again, you rarely feature strategy or simulator games. Is that due to not generally liking them or due to not fitting the Cool Ghost format? I think this is bullshit because you just did a video on StarCraft 2. I'm always talking about Darkest Dungeon and Invisible Ink. You love XCOM, and that's one of the most strategical games.
Yeah, I mean, strategy games are like, I don't know, there aren't that many of them anymore. That are like,
great. There you go.
I like them. Simulator games are fun, but I don't play that many.
Ah, Juiced Zift is a motherfucker.
What?
X to the power of 2
Juice, you've done this on purpose.
3x minus 4
This is bullshit.
equals 6. Solve for x. Okay, 6. Wait, hang on, I can do this.
This is some Persona 4 shit.
10.
Making us do schoolwork in the middle of the game.
X to the power of 2. I genuinely thought I was going to be able to do this. Juice Ziff, are you ready for my answer? Karima says, Matt, I'm worried about you. It's not a question, Karima. Get it right. Osmil says,
she could have asked how she could help.
if you could describe Cool Ghost as any kind of hard drug, which hard drug would it be?
It's probably Prozac.
Morphine, because it makes the pain go away, or Prozac, because
it chills everyone out a bit.
There you go. Ra Sench asks, question, got any games to recommend that has a calm and relaxed feel to it? Lately, I find I tend to want to play more of those as my tinnitus is getting to me.
Tinnitus is a fucker. I really feel
I'm really sorry.
My other half has a lot of tinnitus. It sucks.
I used to work with a guy who, in Sweden they have, it's when I worked for Paradox.
Do you want this vodka?
Yeah.
I'm just drinking it.
When I worked for Paradox in Sweden, they have to do military service. And before that he joined, the army said, do you have tinnitus? Because you can't be in artillery if you've got tinnitus. And he went, no. The army gave him tinnitus from firing giant guns.
Tinnitus is a fucker. Relaxed games.
Animal Crossing for the 3DS is really good. There's a little bit left for you. You can enjoy that.
Yay.
Animal Crossing for the 3DS. City Skylines is the most relaxing, or Mini Metro for Steam.
City Skylines is something I want to get on my list, actually, just for that.
That's really good.
It's just really chill.
Tom Kitchen says X equals 2. Thanks, Tom.
There you go, Juice Ziff.
Tom, you're the best. I love
Juice Ziff always reminds me of a little video series, a radio series. What's it called? It's called, but it's a bit where a dog.
I love that X equals 2, so it does imply that that was a comparatively easy, like, child's question. It was an integer. It wasn't even a.
There's a radio comedy series called For One Horrible Moment, and at one of the characters has a dog. It's set in like the wartime, but it's like anachronistic and has some very weird things. But someone has a dog in it called Jiff Moose.
Jiff Moose is
and they call the dog and they go Jiff Moose.
What's this a reference
Jiff Moose. Is it whenever I think of the guy's name?
Whose name?
He's called. I've forgotten his name. I said it a minute ago. It's like
well, that's a terrible anecdote.
It's an incredible name.
The amount of questions has fucking quadrupled. By the way,
well, you shouldn't have said we were going to answer all of them.
Eric Tengblad says, "Wait, mince in mince pie does not refer to mincemeat." No, Eric, mince refers to a mince of like sweetened fruit and shit. It's a sweet. The problem is sweet Christmas pie.
Mincemeat
is syrup. Yeah, mincemeat is a thing.
Minced meat is minced meat. Mincemeat is like raisins and
it's
stuff.
It's raisins and sultanas, and it's very sweet. It's a blend. It's fucking great. If you ever get a mince pie,
get some good mince
in Christmas.
Don't fuck about.
Have a great time.
It's called Jiff Zeus or something.
Oh, James Simons hasn't even linked to a question. This is probably a PNG of you as a. I can't click on the link and dude, it's not going to work. I just tried all the obvious thing. You're not going to copy paste the entire thing.
I'm going to copy paste that into a browser. I want to see what this is.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not a GIF. It's
not a GIF. It's a PNG.
It's a PNG. And I don't even have my mouth out, so my tongue out. So
James,
hey boy, if I don't have my tongue out, it's not even a date, James. So
James, you fucked it.
Talk to the hand.
Alex Norton says, "Okay, what digital download service would you give this? Would you? I love the questions that are callbacks. Would you give a gift card to every child?"
It's like rifling through our past of shame.
Steam, obviously.
Yeah,
why?
Steam. Not going to give them an origin.
That was offensive, and I apologise. That was a reflexive habit from being at school, and it's actually not cool.
It's incredibly difficult to beat those reflexive habits from at school.
So hard. I don't say gay anymore as a pejorative.
No, it took me years to get rid of that.
Solaru C says, no question, just wanted to show my support for you guys by saying heart. Solaru! You're the best, although you did slow us down. Karima says, any plans for a Cool Ghost Live podcast? That is basic. Stop it! That is the...
I'm doing the...
Yeah, but you're also gecko tonguing it and you're distracting me. You're doing the zoomer face. Any plans for a Cool Ghost Live podcast? That would just be a Dark Souls live podcast if Matt can ever stop organising them on dates when I'm not in the country.
Yeah, we will do it. We will. Just wait till we're better.
Joe Meredith. Hello, Joe. Festive hello to you both. I never hear you talk about fighting games. Is there a genre you generally skip? All my best face-to-face gaming moments have either been board games or Street Fighter.
Yeah, no, we just skip the hell out of it. I mean, I really used to...
not with good reason.
Well, no, it's like you can only be good at so many things. Like, you know, I got good at StarCraft at one point. I got good at Dota at one point. And now I just don't have the time to be good at anything.
I should mention, my friend Ian, who I mentioned before, is very, very good at Street Fighter 4. And when Street Fighter 5 comes out, I've said I'm going to give it a college try.
Fair enough. I used to love Soul Calibur. I used to be very good at that. These days, I'm good at making omelets, and I'm happy with that decision.
There you go, Joe. Yeah, with too little time left. R2.2 again says, what are your favorite Christmas games? Not necessarily games that are Christmassy, but games that you have fond memories of playing at this festive time of year.
Time. 1996, I think.
You want to know the saddest Christmas story ever? I was really young, like 11 maybe, and my mum got me a PSX, and I didn't know, and I was like, so excited, PlayStation, fucking A. Do you know what game she got with me for it? As the
there were a lot
title?
Of bad games.
It's not. No, you got to think the other way. It was Silent Hill.
Oh,
and I was too young. Too young.
Oh,
so it's Christmas Day. It's like 8 in the morning because again, only child. I have my presents when I want.
Did she get recommended that or something?
Yes.
When recommendations
at
go
a game
wrong.
Shop, yeah.
Oh, this game's great. And didn't ask how old.
To his credit, if I worked in a game shop, I'd be like, Silent Hill. Yeah, you should get this. It's really good because it is good. But I'm too young.
You ask
too young.
How old they are? Like, how old is he? 7.
Yeah,
I love it.
Durfs says Kickstarters for computer games. Thoughts? They're good. Oz Mills says, can you incorporate green screen into your live videos so you can live stream from crazy locations or chased by crested geckos?
Unfortunately not.
Oh,
No, we actually can't. I'm sorry. It's a lot of the Americans on Twitch and stuff just have a big green curtain behind them. I've got a slightly more advanced green screen.
We could literally turn your monitor to face the green screen.
It's great. That's the thing. It's great. It requires basically you only works with a camera with lens.
Oh, of course, because we're using a webcam.
Yeah, it's my fault. I'm a tech geek. I like things to be nice. So it
Matt fucked it, ladies and gents.
That's why I produce nice videos and sit on Twitch.
Jeff Prune. Feeling brave? Jeff Prune, this is a board game question, but for those of us who are traveling for the holidays, you can only bring one big box game. What would be the first one you'd recommend? Mysterium. Goose Bremer says, what are some games you really
I've actually bought Pictomania for my mum.
Oh, have you? Oh, she'll love it. It's good. It's fucking great.
She likes art.
You haven't played it before, have you?
No.
You'll never have a better time than just looking through the highest difficulty cards and bursting out laughing because it's...
No, I think you should be...
Draw Destiny. Go. What are some hello Goose Bremer. What are some games you'd really like the look of but haven't gotten to or chosen not to play due to time issues? And maybe
I've told you, The Witcher 3. I say it every week on every podcast I record. I say I wish I want to play The Witcher 3, and every week passes and I don't have time because I'm working, and I always think this week is quiet. I don't have to do any work, and then I don't actually have any time because I'm working all week. And there's never a quiet week, and I just want to play The Witcher 3. To be honest, I'm thinking about just calling it Christmas from Monday next week and just playing The Witcher 3.
Oh, you should do that.
I might do that because I really want to play The Witcher 3.
I've got nothing I don't want to play. I play all video games. It's just board games that fuck me up. Muriarty again. Muriarty is on fire, ladies and gents.
I got really upset there.
You should just take the week off, dude.
I probably will.
I'm planning to give my brother a collection of some fancy tea flavors. Stereotypes dictate you guys know stuff about tea. Do you have any recommendations on tea suppliers or stores that deliver through Europe? The truth is, Muriarty, my tea supplier is a close personal friend. I'm not particularly willing to share his name. Matt, I know, also closely guards his. Matt actually met his on the docks of London.
I meet mine. He waits in a 4x4. I get in. I don't ask questions. I give him the money, and he gives me the tea, and then I leave, and then
I don't know. Fucking witards? Are you kidding?
He's really into listening to drum and bass.
The thing is that
you'll be hearing more about this on the hard tea special.
In the Cool Ghost Christmas special, where we talk about hard teas.
The
thing is, tea in England is so common that we just get it in supermarkets, and so
just get it in bags, mate.
Just get a bag.
I don't even drink proper tea half the time.
£9 for a pound.
Rhubarb tea. It's not even real. Muriarty well done. You're like the MVP this round.
Just get your brother some Russian Canavan.
Honestly, I swear you've answered like 7 questions by Muriati. He's
making our lives harder, that's for sure.
Well, no, it's fine. He's getting a lot of outvoted questions. He knows what
Oz Mills says, me and Aniki21 are worried for Matt's Witcher 3 situation. Can you hug him, Quins? No.
That shows you just how quickly these questions are coming.
Like, I know. They're
not going to end.
I'm not hugging him about fucking The Witcher. Are you kidding? I'll hug him if, like, you know, he's sad. He's quite sad.
Juiced Ziff.
Oh, okay. Juice Ziff. People are always really excited about my name, but that enthusiasm is always dampened when I explain to them it's pronounced Yoast Ziff instead of Juiced Ziff.
Just change it, mate.
Yoast.
Just say it's Juiced.
When you write Yoast down,
even to people in your own country, just say, I know it's weird because usually in this country you pronounce this Yoast, but actually
the thing is
pronounced Juiced.
Yoast is awesome because it's like
Ziff.
It's like a cool roast. Like if you were to have a roast chicken, but like
Yoast.
It's spiked with LSD. That would be like a Yoast.
I don't know why, but Yoast. Now I pronounce it Yoast, and I pronounce it. Thank you, Juiced.
I can't tell if we're getting through these questions or not.
We're never getting through them.
Charlie Robertson says, "Nerdy question: How do you decide?"
These guys play games. They're gaming us. Come on.
How do you decide where to film your various segments? Question mark. Matt's Spooky Basement aside, is it just a case of wherever's available, or do you ever cook up ambitious A-team-esque filming plans? I will tell you, Charlie.
He's better at that than I am. I actually get a bit like freaky about filming outside of my
when Matt and I decided to start working together, there's been some hilarious stuff where I'm like, oh, we'll film outside in that park near your house, and Matt gets this mask of terror.
I've never done it. I'm actually like a massive introvert. It's my like biggest secret. Like I guess I'm like weirdly kind of like I freak out. I don't like people. I do my own thing.
When me and Paul were unemployed or like getting very minimal freelance, and we started Shut Up and Sit Down, we would come up with like actual shooting schedules of like, we're going to be at Cannon Street to film this literally one fucking shot, then we're going to go here, then we're going to go here, and it shows. And like if we did that now, it would be awesome, but there's just no time.
And also it's the fact that like, you know, when you're just using little handy cam and stuff, it's like you can get away with that. But now it's like, if you're setting up tripods and you know, I had a problem a few years ago when I was doing some amazing week stuff with Steve, and this was like 4 years ago. We tried to film in a park, and we just have an SLR on a tripod, and we had like the council turning up in a minute saying, you know, let's film here because there are kids here. Like, I'm not even joking. It's like you're in London, like you can't just film in public. People come and say what you're doing unless you can just go boom and do it. Like, and
Karima asks, Quins and Matt, how did you meet your tea dealers? It's getting harder and harder to find a good one these days.
Just get into anyone who's got any 4x4s. Just get into the passenger seat. And
friend of a friend.
What they've got.
The thing to do is go to somewhere where people are clearly enjoying their tea, and then go to the smoking area and then talk to them and say, hey, just ask casually. Just be like, I'm sorry, you don't know if I can find one. Just make sure there's no like.
Just look out for anyone drinking Earl Grey.
Yeah, and then you probably won't get into anything
because Earl Grey's
too
off
hard.
the hook.
Carl Axelson, which is an awesome name for a Funwraith, says, when will we be seeing the cool ghost list of 50 best games of all time? Something for next year.
Well, it's weird because board games now, they're in that zone where like they used to be like video games where like, you know, you can know about them all. Like we were talking about in Dark Souls, you can know about all the board games. You wouldn't have played them all, but you know about them all.
What's better?
Video games now is impossible.
Also, video games are like broader than ever. Like, what's better, Kentucky Route Zero or Deus Ex? It's like, fuck off.
Yeah, no, it's like at the moment, board games are still like contained enough that you can just be like, these are the best ones. Whereas in video games, it's like, what do you like? You know.
Karate Matty says, has all the subterfuge...
we've had that. We've pretty much had that.
Guna Bremer, sorry, dude, that was... you've been waiting ages for your
question. That wasn't a bad thing, but it was just... We've already answered it, that's all.
Goose Bremer says, hello, of course, of Ghosts. Are there any games you're looking forward to spending some time in between the holidays? Board games. It's all board games again. Look at the Shut Up Sit Down top 15.
Actually, I'm playing a lot of board games this
Clement Martin, who's the amazing fucker who does the French subtitles for Cogwatch. And I'm entirely reliant on for sharing Cogwatch among French readers, because it's like they get the subtitles in French, and it's not like I can share them with French people. So
I keep trying to think about doing subtitles for Cool Guys videos, but I haven't just got the time.
Oh, it's just Clement. I just like Cogwatch. It's my personal project. Okay, Clement says, okay, and a proper question. I think I asked elsewhere, but I'm not sure anymore. You guys once said you did not really like Don't Starve. Why is that, since you're such big fans of Clay's work?
I've never played it, actually. I don't know anything about it. I've heard it's good, but
it's fine. It's weird.
I'm intending to check it out at some point.
Good.
I'm intending to check it out at some point because I know there's been lots of expansions, and at some point when they make a big thing, I'm going to check it out because.
Hang on, I feel like this is not a question for me. I feel like, oh god, I've had enough vodka that now I can't type properly. Metacritic.
You actually typed Metacritic right the first time,
and deleted
and
it.
Added loads of other letters.
Yep. Don't Starve for PC Metacritic only got 79. So frankly, I like it.
It has a bunch of mixed things.
I like it exactly as much as everybody else.
I know they expanded a lot, and I know they got an expansion with the sea. I know lots of people feel very fondly about it.
It is average, unlike everything else Clay have done.
That's the thing, I guess Clay are just like, apart from that, they're just like...
Clement, who is of course an hour forward, says, it's 1:45 here in France. I'm getting up really late to teach kids, and I'll never be able to explain to them that I'm knackered just because I wanted to see one of my questions answered. So thanks for the live hangout, though. Clement didn't leave before I answered his question, did he? Clement, no.
He'll be able to see it afterwards.
He will. Alon Musique says, cool Yoast's hip indie food video content.
Welcome to Cool Yoast's.
Hello, welcome to Cool Yoast's. Today we will be cooking a delicious chicken for you.
Because he's thinking about Yoast's and Cool Yoast's. Sorry, we just went
full Danish or
Danish.
Netherlands.
Yeah, I think that's more of the kind of fast show, kind of Dutch police.
You talked over my referring to a chicken as a yicken, which I think was pretty funny at the time. Osmel says, Lee Alexander seems to be writing a bunch of awesome stuff about smaller, lesser-known stuff for Offworld. Much chance of seeing her doing much work for Cool Ghosts? Yes! She's, since the beginning, she's supposedly meant to be doing something, but she hasn't because
she's busy.
She's a fucker. Michael Elbert says, speaking of Bloodborne Diaries, Lagarius Wheel and Pence Run.
Yeah, a Pants Run is not off the cards. I've had some people wanting to finish 2. I guess that's almost less likely than Bloodborne from scratch.
I almost went back to 2 this week because I had the DLC so good.
Yeah, but we'd have to, because me and Brat started halfway through, we wouldn't be able to join that with the DLC. I don't think you can like go halfway to a save with the new.
Sure, you can.
I don't know.
You can with Bloodborne, obviously, because obviously they do that because they released the DLC when loads of people are halfway through the game.
Oh no, you can do DLC, but you. No, I thought you meant the new edition of the game. Sorry, I got mixed up. Yeah, we might do. I mean, but yeah, I need to arrange it. I know Brat is up for continuing it and doing it again. I'd probably do it. Hey, Clement didn't go to bed. But
that's awesome. I'm really glad to see
I know Brat is up for doing it. I'll probably do it again in March because it's like the Mazda March again in March. It's kind of a pun, I guess. I just realised. But we'll probably try and do some more fundraising again because I'm keen to try and raise some more money for the Royal Marsden because they are awesome. So I'll probably just get Brat around my house again for another day of charity bollocks.
Fucker, is there a Cool Ghosts email address?
Yeah.
Is it on the site?
It's contactcoolghosts at gmail.com. I use the word contact because it's a bit
Oz Mills has a question there. Can we send you special drinks to drink every live cast? I have a ton of LARP homebrew flavored gin.
That sounds terrifying.
Dude. Oz, write into contactcoolghosts@gmail.com.
Yeah.
And send Matt your booze, and I swear to God, we'll drink it in January.
Oz might have my email address somewhere, actually, so
Oz,
who knows?
We'll be drinking it in January. You just send it. I swear
Terrifying.
to God. And if anyone else would like to send us special booze...
This is a way to get us killed.
Contactcoolghosts@gmail.com.
This is how people die.
If there's a Gamergator, yeah, then we're fine.
I don't want to fucking get Kool-Aided to fuck.
Kool-Aid to fuck.
You don't drink drinks from strangers.
It's 11...
Oh, you brought up.
Okay, I'm going to skim this really quickly. It's 11:51. We'll call it at midnight, all right?
Okay. He's got to go home. You guys are lucky. You guys are very lucky.
Mark Bushnell says, I'm in America. I do appreciate you doing this so late. It's nice to hear your stories of getting hit by cars live. My question is, Quinns, why are you such a Nazi? You know Hitler isn't a good role model. Mark, if I'm entirely honest, and this is some behind-the-scenes shit, I'm doing it for a joke, which is why it was amazing in not this episode, but the last one when I referred to Lebensraum and how it sounded like a nice word. I'm a history buff, is the truth. I'm the biggest fan of Dan Carlin's hardcore history podcast that you would ever know. And someone in the audience was like, Quinns, Lebensraum is a Nazi term.
It's a Nazi term, yeah. I didn't know that, but then when someone pointed that out, I was like, oh, of course it is. Like, I knew it was a joke then, but...
Yeah, so I then replied to that guy, I don't understand. And then someone else replied by going, okay, listen, Hitler used the phrase Lebensraum when the Nazis annexed part of Poland. And I replied to that going,
I don't get that.
I don't understand. Yeah, I don't get it. And then that was the point where I started getting loads of upvotes from the Cool Ghost community.
People like, okay. I wasn't sure what was going on for a while, but I was like,
God bless.
This is part of an ongoing
God
terrible
bless our
joke.
audience. Oh dear. Foxhound writes, I'm so late. I don't know what's already been answered. I'm going to make a fool of myself. What do you two want for Christmas? You know what, Foxhound? Nobody has asked us what we want for Christmas. And I'm very moved at this point. Man, we've got so much energy now. We should have just started the...
Start drinking vodka at like 10?
No, we should have started the hangout with us just answering quick fire, because this is great.
It's true, but it takes a while to warm up, doesn't it?
I guess. Except for the first one, because we were so full of adrenaline. I would love nothing more for Christmas than a small terrarium, all the contents for the terrarium, a humidifier, a heater, and a crested gecko.
You really got your heart set on a crested gecko, yeah?
Motherfucker, watch this video of... I can't be bothered to do it, because it's really difficult to reach around the microphone. But there's a crested gecko eating jam.
I love that when you alt-tab away from the window, you can't see that I'm being a gecko. So I'm just going to do that. What do you
want for Christmas?
I don't want anything.
You're such a twat.
What?
Don't want anything for Christmas.
Fine. I mean, there is like one thing I'd like at the moment, but it's expensive and I'm probably not going to get it.
You still say it?
Well, I mean,
you
like,
totally grew up in the north right now.
If Father Christmas existed,
well, there's one thing I want, but
I
can't afford it.
No, if Father Christmas existed, and I could just click my fingers and have something without any like the financial implications.
Yeah, but you and your girlfriend are getting a mortgage.
We're trying. It's difficult, and that's not my money. It's fucking the parents' stuff, and this is a weirdly kind of personal question for. I kind of want one of these. I kind of really want one of the little Surface Pro things. Like Surface Pros, but they're expensive. Mainly because I get bored of just sitting and working at this computer all the time. It'd be nice to have something that I could go and do some work.
Oh, a tablet,
cafe or something like basically a laptopy thing. But
Claire Jones writes Muriati, and then has provided links for you to get excellent teas. So look at Muriati if you're still watching. Claire Jones, this question being answered now. Ooh, when I click done though, it'll vanish.
I'm not sure if I wanted. No. Yeah.
So let's leave it up for a moment for Muriati.
I don't think they really wanted tea. I think it was a joke. So I think it's fine.
No, someone asked for serious. There's a Matt Gecko gift, which you can enjoy, but that can be linked later. Yeah. Karate Matty writes, loved Match producing a vodka and just drinking it straight.
So I roll.
Someone was not a student, because that is some entry-level student skills.
That's how I roll. I used to drink the 50% Smirnoff stuff in the blue bottle. That was very really got you going. That's the story I'll tell my grandkids when I'm trying to pretend I'm not completely awful.
A friend and I once did the Woodnell and I pub crawl drinking game where you drink everything that they do in a single night.
That's killer, right?
Yeah, we were 16 and didn't succeed.
Yeah,
Oz Mills writes, why doesn't Matt have a Santa hat or have dyed his hair red? And
that's an old question. We're getting through them because I have got a Santa hat. It's fucking on my head.
Oh, I see. Eric Christgau says, ran into you at Gen Con, brackets, almost literally, as I was the paladin of the adventuring party at the podcast. Oh, yeah, you guys.
I remember.
You had to leave to catch an adventure. Bless you guys. And wanted to know your convention plans for next year, brackets, across the pond, like Origins, Gen Con, etc. We'll probably be going to Gen Con because it's always worth it, because it's interesting. Even if we don't, I'm thinking next year, how good would Gen Con be if we don't do the live podcast and don't do a video? If we just play games.
No, we should definitely do the live podcast, though, because that's so much fun and not that much effort. But maybe not doing a video is not insane.
Okay.
Because it's like...
We should play games.
Yeah, it's really... I mean, when we were at Gen Con, it's like a lot of people were disappointed by the amount of content we produced. And it's because they forget...
Who was disappointed?
Well, a few people are like, oh, it would have been nice to see more stuff. And it's like, you forget that, like, actually, the majority of what we do on Gen Con is, like, stopping and talking to people like this fine paladin. And that's a nice thing to do.
It's true.
Unless you, like, do, the celebrity-style thing of just, like, going through back corridors and hiding in rooms and never appearing in public so you can do what you need to do, and that sucks. That's rubbish. So.
Eric will be at Gen Con, we can confirm, GDC and Fantasy Flight Worlds, but those are the only ones we know just yet. Karima says, shut up and sit down. Tour bus will solve those board game problems.
It would. Too many board games.
Don't joke, because if we get big enough, I'll do it.
I'd love a bus.
I'd love to be driven. Jeff Prune, I really need to pee all of a sudden, says, what are your thoughts on the large number of games that are focusing more and more on choices? Should games just throw out their other mechanics and become choose-your-own adventures? Well, also, choices that you're referring to in like the Walking Dead and Mass Effect games aren't just choose-your-own adventures because the choices are part of a larger system with its own rules, so...
I've been playing Persona 4, and I'd like the choice not to do my homework.
That's an example I'm talking about.
I'd like to just the choice to like do small things, like when someone says, "Oh, you got to do this," I want to go, "No," and he goes, "You got to help your friend work at the store," and I'm like, "No, I want the opportunity to just be a dick for no reason and see what happens." In fact, that's the only thing I like about Xenoblade Chronicles X so far is the fact the guy asked me to join the team, and I'm like, "No," and I just kept saying no, and it gave me some funny responses. I like that. It still makes you do it. It's like Zelda, but they've written it in. I like that. I like that a lot. So many questions. You guys are evil. You guys are evil, but wonderful. But wonderful. Karate Matt asks, what will it take to go on a trip to the pub with you both? It's complicated, but at some point I'm sure we will do a Dark Souls / Cool Ghost live thing where we'll go to a pub afterwards. We do a lot of that with regular features. It's not a big deal, so I'm sure that will happen at some point. Stop trying to make Pretty Flex happen. It's not like I'm trying to make anything happen. It's just fucking coming out of my mouth. Nicholas Clark says, do you get bored of playing games? Not one in particular, but games in general. Sometimes, yeah, actually, to be honest. Like every now and then I get a bit disillusioned with games. Not in a kind of like, oh, games are rubbish. I just can't be bothered. In the same way that some weeks I feel like I can't be bothered making videos. And that's why I quite enjoy at the moment, like having like making games as a hobby and like playing in Game Maker. Some weeks I just think, I don't really feel it. And so I just take a little break. I just go and do something else for a little while. And then I find that before I know it, my ability to do other stuff has come back. Et voila. You can't fight it. If you just pretend and try and do something all the time, sometimes you just need to step back, do something else, and it just rekindles your pattern. God, it's really quick doing questions without more than one person. And now we are getting to the point where things are not. Things are not. Things are not. You
held up by yourself like
fine. I did like 4 questions. We got a mixture of people. We got people from Scotland. We got people from the Netherlands. We got people from things. That's people's giving some feedback. Might have a look at that afterwards.
Cool Ghosts is like the ebooks version of Cool Ghosts, or perhaps the bootleg, not well made DVD.
I like that. So, what is the reason it's called Cool Ghosts? Was it just random words? It made us laugh.
In the series of in the Patreon video, we say like, oh, wasn't that just a name from the list of funny names? And honestly, we did have
that list of funny names was real. I mean, obviously some of them were jokes.
We were writing bullshit into that
to amuse each other, but we were genuinely writing things we thought were ideas. I think we I don't know where it came from, but we liked the idea of Funwraiths. Funwraiths was fun, but then
I wrote something like I wrote Cool Ghosts, and there was a brief riff and all different kinds of undead. Like game skeletons.
Yeah, we just sort of play with that idea. And I really liked Funwraiths. But then we realized it didn't scan well. It wasn't easy to say. It sounded kind of cool, but it wasn't quite right. But I really like Funwraiths. And that was why we kind of brought it back for you guys, because Funwraiths is hilarious because it sounds like fun.
Oh, it's so good. It sounds like fundraising,
which is a really fun pun. But Cool Ghosts just made us laugh. It's just stupid. It just made us laugh, and that's entirely it. And I guess that's exactly how you came up with Shut Up, Sit Down. Really, it made you laugh.
Just made you laugh.
So yeah, done. And I think that's pretty much like we've kind of now got to the point where it's kind of like fun, light things and no real questions.
Yeah, no actual. You say that. Alec Norton asks, silly question to round things off. We got you, Alec. Who is your favourite Transformer?
I don't want to ruin your Christmas, but I've never really been into Transformers, so I don't really have a favourite Transformer.
Well, it's nice to be able to do that. I hadn't actually thought I would get answer to this question. Probably Soundwave or Astro Train, because Astro Train was a train who could carry all of the Transformers. Well, all the Decepticons, really. Which was one of the weird, like, why did some of the Transformers get... Wow, no, I'm pushing myself away. Why did some of the Transformers get bigger and become able to hold other Transformers, but then when they turn to human size, they become, like...
Normal size?
Normal size. All this on the next Funwraith hangout.
Maybe because it's shit.
And with that...
Thank you very much for coming and joining us, you lovely group of nice people. And anyone watching this in retrospect, like some sort of voyeur of the times, we'll join you, I guess, in January. This was sort of a double join up.
November and December, yeah, because I was away. It's my fault. I apologize.
It's fine. I'm sure you guys don't mind too much because we've just spent like 2 hours and it's quite nice to just have a little concentrated burst. But yeah, we will be back monthly, as you know, and we'll be back in January with more good stuff. I don't know whether I'm going to take the whole of next week off or not, but I'm going to try and take some of it off so I can do some stuff.
Certainly the New Year's period will be good.
I'm going to Morocco for New Year's. It's going to be fucking lovely.
I'm going to India.
Yeah, you're going to India for Christmas. I'm going to Morocco for New Year's. Turns out it's really cheap. And
with the writer of 80 Days.
Fucking smug twat.
It's a good story. I'll tell it another time.
Once you're on a train going to nowhere.
I'm going to be in fucking... There's going to be a point where I'm on a train.
You're going to feel like
in India.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be cool.
It's going to be good. I'll take some sweet Instagrams for you. As always, thank you so much for donating to Cool Ghosts.
Yeah, thank you guys. We meant it at the start. You guys are like, you know, it's one of these weird things where in the modern internet age, doing a live 2-hour broadcast for about 50, 60 people is just seen as being like the most stupid.
No, it's not though.
But it's not, and
it's amazing and worthwhile.
Kind of the core of what we're trying to do, really, and that's kind of cool that we can actually like turn the internet on its head a bit and make it a bit different. So thank you very much for joining us or watching it in retrospect, because it
makes a huge difference and makes us very happy. We're retiring on a Christmas break.
And if you enjoyed the site and you then that's on you. You did that, so brag to your friends.
Yes, actually, tell your friend, hey, that Cool Ghost is pretty good, and it's because of me.
Yeah,
because it is. Because honestly,
be horribly smug. Just be horrible. Be untenable. Be absolutely just horrible. Be the person who ever just goes, "Oh God, I want them to leave. Who are they?"
Because you know what, you've earned
them.
Thank you so much, everybody. I'm gonna click the big button now. Goodbye.